You know it's hard out here for a SHILL when they can't tap dance to pay their bills and they last little business getting spilled. Don't be mad, you know we only being real. There they go. Certified salute to the whole foundational Black American family. We up in the building, in the place. Let the whole damn world know we live right now, y'all. Smash that like button. Certified Black Society, Black Alpha Network. We in the building. We about to go all in on these SHILLs, family, because they falling out bad right now, and we here for it. Let's go to work every day, all day. Certified time. There they go.
Everybody knows that all the people don't have liberties. All the people don't have freedom. All the people don't have justice. And all the people don't have power. So that means none of us do.
Family, you know, when you see Mayo and then you see Miracle Whip and they not getting along, they fighting, they having a hard goddamn time, you mind your own FBA business. When you see Miracle Whip trying to bust Mayo across the head, you mind your own FBA business. When you see Mayo trying to put indictments on Miracle Whip, you mind your own FBA business. And when you see Miracle Whip on stage and they start pew-pewing at him, you mind your own FBA business. And that's exactly what the hell Certified Black Society is doing. While all the Democratic SHILLs are falling out. D.L. Hughley, this goes for you. Joyless Reid, this goes for you. Roland Martin, this go for you. Van Jones, this go for you, and anybody else who wants some smoke. Because like I said, you know it's hard out here for a SHILL when they cannot tap dance to pay their bills. Or they last butter biscuits got spilled. Don't be mad, you know we only being real. That part. Certified salute to the whole foundational Black American family tree. Oh, we in here now. Oh, it's going down, it's going down, it's going down. This is what it is, y'all. You know we run the yard. You know we run them out the paint. Everything belongs to us. And when we say that folks get out of pocket, get off code, get out of bounds, and we sit back and we enjoy the show, we sit back and enjoy the show. Can we go down memory lane real quick, though, family? I just want to do it real fast, fam. Let's go down memory lane because we seen Joe Biden crash out, okay? We seen Kamala Harris crash out, Ryan Garcia, Dr. Kubar. We done seen goddamn Buster Bus crash out, and now we've seen the whole situation going with Donald Trump, and there's been an aftershock. There's been a domino effect. And what is that? All the SHILLs, family, are going out bad right now. And Certified Black Society told them, but like everything, they didn't want to pay attention, they didn't want to listen, so they got to find out the hard way, fam. SHILLs find out the hard way. You feel me? When we was putting in that work during the Civil War and we was winning, you had a lot of them said, we's going to stay on the plantation with Massa. Found out the hard way. When we was putting in work during the civil rights era, they said, we want to stay over here on the porch with Massa. Found out the hard way. And right now, if you look, we told them, y'all better quit running from red plantation, blue plantation, back and forth and back, not demanding nothing, bending over backwards, getting on your kneecaps. We told them that if you do not get on board and you do not come with it, your tool will be broken. And we are watching them all break. 2024, that's been the year of the broken shield. Yes, the hell it has. And the whole Donald Trump situation just highlighted it. It just framed it, family. Now everybody's seeing it. Everybody's watching. Did y'all see the Republican National Convention last night? Have y'all been seeing any of this stuff going on? It feels like it was a year ago when we were just talking about the whole Donald Trump situation. Family, it was what, 3-4 days? Okay, it's been 3 or 4 days. And everybody's scrambling right now to kind of figure out what's happening. I think we broke it down the most thorough. We gave all the options. We said, was it an inside job? Was it staged? We said, was it some per capita business going on, which means Mayo versus Miracle Whip? We also said, is it, maybe just some deep state stuff going on? But you notice, Roland Martin, he don't want to hear that. He done put on his hat that says Democratic SHILL on it, and he's going all the way in. They crashing out for their political party. Roland Martin is literally running around here right now, y'all. Literally, openly telling everybody that he thinks it was all a setup. Now, what happens when one of these tethers gets involved in the dominant society business? It ain't going to end up too good. You see Joy Reid right now. They on her bumper. Joy Reid right now, with her wig is blowing in the air, and it ain't even windy outside. Her wig is blowing all over the place, and she right now is running around talking about well, we need to keep it all focused on Donald Trump. And it's really thing. Let me tell you something. When Matt and Brad got a problem, they are going to get on the same page before they ever let Joy Reid come in, okay? When Karen and Rebecca got a problem, they'll fight all damn day long. But that don't mean they on your black side. That don't mean they on your black team. We know this. This is why we stay the hell clear out of the business. What your grandparents told you, what your aunts told you, what your uncles, what your mom and dad told you. When you see W on W crime, you go ahead and FBA your way out. These folks don't understand that. The only thing they understand, family, is trying to get involved. And the only thing they understand, family, is literally trying to put their name in that hat. Because when you start dancing around too long, you really eventually start thinking that you're RW. Candace Owens thinks that she's the W. Yep. Tim Scott. Y'all seen all that stuff with Tim Scott, right? He was running around here left and right, up and down. And what happened? Tim Scott, he didn't even get a VP nomination. What Trump do? Trump said, you can tap dance for a year. But when it comes down to it, I'm going to pick my supremative, all my buddies, all my friends, they're going to come over here. That's what they ended up doing. This is what they do. And you absolutely right. Morning Joe got canceled. Think about it. If Morning Joe got canceled, what you think gonna happen to Joy Reid? Roland Martin done been fired like 35 times already, okay? He can't even get credentials. All that stuff about no black media could come into the last debate. Roland Martin was the main one because he got his credentials pushed off because he ain't got none. Joy Reid, I'm gonna show you the dominant society is going after her heavy. D.L. Hughley, his little 2 minutes of fame is already up, and they on him right now. You never get involved in Mayo on Miracle Whip crime. You mind your own business. So if they pick their own supremative, supremacist, yeah, I said it, friends, then you know they're not ever going to pick a Tim Scott or Brian, what's that dude's name? Byron Donaldson or whatever. He thought he was going to get the VP. You feel me? Trump said, hell no. I'm going to go get me a hillbilly. I'm going to go get me a redneck because that is my supremative, supremacist friend. That part. And this is exactly what they've been doing. So right now on this episode, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and put out some SHILL alerts. When you see a Democratic SHILL family, point they ass out. They ain't got nothing to do with us. They've been running around here for the longest, speaking on us. Family, do you know I'm seeing these folks have political conversations about FBA and there ain't an FBA in the room? Can you really put your mind on that, family? This is literally what these folks is doing out here in these streets. They are literally having conversations about our lineage, heritage, and culture, and they trying not to involve us. But guess what? This G-checking, this regulating, we're going to involve them because it has always been hard out here for SHILL, and it's even worse now. And when you see that right there, you go ahead and walk on the other side of the street. Let them solve their own problems, and we going to get the bag. Let them have their own feuds, and we going to get the bag. Let them folks fight it out, fuss it out, scrap it out, and we are going to get that FBA bag. That's the only option. That's the only option. That is the only option. Let's go to work, y'all. Let's go to work. Did y'all see last night at the convention, they tried to trot out Joyless Reid? Because mind you, Joyless Reid family, she been running around here for quite some time, cosplaying foundational Black Americans. Now, we all know she ain't she's not a foundational Black American. She's a cosplayer, but she's not one of us. The song They Not Like Us literally applies to her. She is the they, she is the them, she is the there, all of them over there. Yes. Oh, yeah. Morning Joe, they pulled him off the air.
So it's ironic
that they were able to
Hold up. Recruit this young woman.
It's out there in the air right now about Morning Joe. They snatched that off the air. Yes, and that is one of NBC's stable shows. Yes, indeed. They're going to snatch that off because right now, all of that talk about Trump being the boogeyman, that ain't looking good right now. You cannot have the ex-president get clipped on stage and then you still running around here talking about Boogeyman. And this is where the Democratic Shield is in a hard spot. The Democratic Shield don't know really what to do because they base their whole agenda on Boogeyman politics. You can't say this man is the Boogeyman right now because he's going on a sympathy tour. He's getting victimized, and it makes you look real, real bad. Before we go to Joyless, hold up. We're gonna break this all the way down. You can't run around here saying that Trump is the Boogeyman to get votes because they're going to say you un-American. We broke this down on what? Sunday? They're going to say you can't say that. That man is the victim. You can't say that. But the Democratic Shields ain't got that through their head, family, because remember, what's the matter, boss? We sick. All they know how to do is to run Boogeyman politics to scare us. All that stuff about scaring Black Americans into voting Democrat, oh, that done had a damn backlash. All that stuff about scaring foundational Black Americans, about our ancestors, that is having a backlash. When Trump got harmed on that stage, it put an end to all the Boogeyman politics they run on us. And when you take that away from the Democratic Shield, they are left with nothing. So Joyless Reid, being a good little Democratic Shield, she's out there right now and she's still trying to run her mouth. Watch her last night, family, talking about Amber Rose. And we're going to get to the Amber Rose situation. They run out Amber Rose. This is what the Republicans are doing, trying to make Amber Rose some type of Black, some type of urban to get the urban vote. Joyless Reid said, no, that's my job. That's my job. I'm the one who pretends to be a Black person. I'm the one who pretends to be a foundational Black American. The Republicans answered and got their own. She don't like that. And you could tell in her face, and you could tell by that forehead that she's really upset. Watch her right now, family, try to cosplay Black American culture. Watch it. Let's go to work. Certified, 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 salute. Fair use, fair use, fair use, YouTube. Fair use all the way across the board. This is about teaching, scholarship, reporting, research. Fair use, and acting. Regulate.
So it's ironic that they were able to recruit this young woman who, and she's a racially ambiguous. I don't want to say she's Black because she has said she's not. So I don't want to say this Black woman, this woman who is of whatever race that she has claimed. She said she's not Black. But they brought somebody whose whole career is based in Black culture. She used to be on a show on BET. That's the reason most people know who she is. She dated one of the most prominent African-American rappers in the business in the history of hip hop. So her whole culture came from Black culture, even though she says she's not a Black person herself. And the fact that she is now the person they're using to try to recruit young people of color and to say that this is the person who is the endorser of Donald Trump, who you should trust, when she won't even claim the culture that brought her to the table.
She won't claim the culture that brought her to the table? You don't claim or represent or give praise or acknowledge the culture that brought your family to the table. It's funny how you can cosplay to the point. This is where cosplaying has got, fam. This is tethers out of control, okay? Tethers out of control, TOC, all right? They're to the point now where they're trying to G-check other tethers. Tether on tether crime. Man, what the hell going on in the United States, y'all? Somebody talk to me. Okay, let me know what's going on. We got Mayo versus Miracle Whip. We got tethers versus tethers. And it's all because foundational Black Americans are on code. I'll be damned. Listen to her trying to talk like she's us, trying to speak as a spokesperson, trying to regulate someone else milking the culture when she milks the culture. She's not a Black American by no means, okay? She has African, the same Africans that run around here and say, you're not Black, brother. You need to go home, brother, and bring your money over here when you do come, brother. All that talk. Look at the Friedman forehead, man. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 on that head. And this is the individual trying to check somebody on our culture. Hell no, let's go.
I'm dubious that this will work. I don't know anyone who takes their political cues from Amber Rose, but just in case you do, you might want to duplicate doing your own research because she might not have done it thoroughly.
I, too, am the child of immigrants. And African Americans and people who consider ourselves African Americans, some of us have parents who are immigrants from Haiti, from the Caribbean, from Africa, from around.
Whoa. Wait a minute. I thought that you were some type of gatekeeper for Black American culture. You were just talking about Black American culture, and you were saying how Black you were, and you were talking like you need to regulate the culture for the world. You were out there not allowing anybody else to come in. She was acting like she was microphone checking, didn't she? Hold on, let me hear that one more back.
She might not have done it thoroughly.
I, too, am the child of immigrants. And African Americans and people who consider ourselves African Americans, some of us have parents who are immigrants from Haiti, from the Caribbean, from Africa, from around the world.
Oh, no, Joyless, it's time. You done set it up, Joyless. Now we got to go. Family, we have officially our very first SHILL warning alert, y'all. Y'all go ahead. Y'all ring the alarms. The SHILLs are out here in full-fledged, and we are about to regulate across the board. No, we're not going for that, Joyless. Joyless, you know better. You cannot run around here and try to act like you are a foundational Black American. That is not how it works out here in these streets. It never, ever has. Look how in distress she is, too, family. Look how in distress she is. She's sitting there trying to cosplay, like we said, to the point where she feels that she's doing some G-checking. She feels she's regulating. She feels she's on code. But when you examine her whole background, this individual can't speak on us. None of these people can speak on us. Look at the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party, I'm talking about from the SHILLs to the politicians, littered with non-FBA. All them folks non-FBA. Barack Obama, non-FBA. Kamala Harris, non-FBA. The little White House press secretary, non-FBA. Hakeem Jeffries, non-FBA. You see Plies running around here, non-FBA. Who else you see out here? You see Luke. Luke is non-FBA. You also see, I don't know if I said Roland Martin yet. Roland Martin, non-FBA. Family, it's a who's who of non-FBA when you start looking at the Democratic Party. And these are the individuals who are trying to speak on us. I'm telling you right now, all of this talk that they're out here trying to run, family, this is all one big hustle, one big scheme to get us involved. Because as they run out here and they talking reckless about Trump, y'all, I'm telling you what they're going to do. They're going to try to make it look like it's coming from us. This is why we reject everything they're saying right now. We have to reject everything they're saying. We cannot allow these Democratic SHILLs to speak. Because if you look, the ones out here really talking that stuff are really W liberals, right? You see W liberals. I mean, the videos are everywhere. You see these W's saying, oh, I'm mad that the person missed. Oh, I wish they would have got him. Oh, man, that's what's up. What eventually is going to happen, they're going to start trying to put all that rhetoric about Donald Trump on the Black people. This is what we talked about the other day. That's why a lot of these Black folks out there, you need to go ahead and be quiet, all right? We got to politic. This is time to politic. Our brother Tariq was talking about that the other night. You got to be very specific and politic these situations. These folks are going to go out here and say a bunch of slander and inflammatory things, and somehow it's going to go from left to right, and then it's going to turn into dominant society against Black folks. This is why we got to start rejecting with Roland Martin. I'm going to play y'all some stuff. Roland Martin's out here trying to speak on behalf of us, all right? He's trying to make it look like we all out here celebrating what happened. Family, we minding our own business, all right? The foundational Black American, Black grassroots, we was on code on Friday. We was on code on Sunday, and in between, there was an attempt on Trump. None of that has something to do with us, though. None of that. Mind your own FBA business. Bottom line, that's what we doing, despite how it is. But if you notice, look, who's been the most civil out of all of this, y'all? It's been us. Look what the liberals are saying. Look what the conservatives are saying. Oh, they got smoke. They going at it left and right. There's big problems out there in Tetherville as well. FBA minding our own business. So we're going to reject everything that they've been saying, and they're not going to put that jacket on us because I'm telling you, what they're going to do, they're going to say, oh, Trump is really bad, and Black folks feel that way. They're going to say, we really wish something would have happened to him, and that's how Black folks feel. They don't really need reparations. They were out here praising Trump getting hurt. They was out here praising something happening to Trump. They're going to try to put that jacket on us. That's why we're not going for the game, family. Hell to the no. This is what it is. Check this out, family. Check this out. This is the history of Joyless Reid. This individual has been talking on foundational Black American business for the longest amount of time. And watch the way, family. We do not stand by anything she says, and watch how she continues this cosplaying game.
All the hate that I get from right-wingers for what I do. It's very simple.
Oh, hold on. I don't know how that got there, y'all. I don't know how that got there. Somebody was checking the hairlines. Let me run that back and see if that's still there the second time. I think there's a hairline alert. I'm not sure. I'm going to see this again and see if there's a hairline alert, maybe a forehead alert. I'm not sure yet. So if these things just happen to be there, that's just how it played out.
Hey, fam, people ask me all the time, like, how do I deal with all the hate that I get from right-wingers for what I do? It's very simple. I will never allow right-wingers, conservatives to steal my joy. My name is Joy.
Damn, it's still there. Damn.
So it just comes with the territory of being Joy. And I just insist upon my joy.
We're a little worried about Joy Reid, our dear, dear friend.
The United States has a population of north of 327 million people. Why do we need more kids? I mean, your party, Senator Tuberville, is the one screaming that 10 million immigrants, which I don't even know that that number even makes any sense because it doesn't, have streamed into the country since Joe Biden has been president. There was a time when the state of Alabama absolutely needed more kids because, you know, Alabama was a slave state. And the mandate of the planter class in Alabama was for Black women to produce more kids because those kids were property. Are you saying the we is white folks need more kids? Is this like a great replacement thing where you're concerned that there's not enough white people in the population versus the growth of the Latino population, the Black population, the Asian American population? And so the we is white people?
Let's just be clear. Clarence Thomas was born in Pinpoint, Georgia. He is of the Gullah extraction. Yep. He didn't even speak English until he was 7 years old. He spoke the Geechee tongue and was so afraid to speak in front of white people because he was always told, don't speak Geechee in front of white people because
there she goes again. Look at her again, family, trying to start G-checking people based on lineage. All right. Clarence Thomas is a lot of things. Okay. We're going to keep it 110. Clarence Thomas, we don't rock with no Clarence Thomas on that level. Okay. But Joy Reid, who the hell are you to talk about that man? Who are you? Look how she's doing it again. She's trying to play spokesperson for Black Americans. Okay. This is it again, family. You see consistently, this is what these Democratic shills do. They talk about our culture. They talk about our lineage as if they are the ones that actually of the lineage. And we know damn well she is not. Okay. We know damn well. And the reason why we got to put it into this, because it starts off with these folks talking about Clarence Thomas and all that. Then the next thing you see, family, they start running around here trying to dictate some type of culture in terms of policy. It starts off with Clarence Thomas. Next thing you know, she's out here saying what we don't need and all that.
It would embarrass you that he almost never spoke at all. Mm-hmm. There was a nun, a white nun, whose largesse helped get him through school and get him those good grades. He has been assisted, by white patrons, really his whole life, even now.
Hey, fam.
Look at that right there, family. Look how she's going down that whole list, running her mouth, trying to speak on things that are not of her else. Watch this right here, family. More. Watch all the stuff, all that Trump talk, all that stuff about Trump being a dictator. That's what everybody's been talking about this week, right? Everybody's been talking about a lot of the inflammatory language. Look who a lot of that language has been coming from. It's been coming from these Democratic shills, y'all. Listen to her right here, talking all that stuff where he's going to come and lock us up and throw away the key. They're trying to put that jacket on us, y'all. I'm telling you. So when it all goes down and somebody really genuinely out here gets hurt, she's going to be the proxy that says my community. She's going to be trying to talk about us. Same way she tried to talk about us with hip hop. Same way she tried to talk about us with the Gullah Geechee, all these foundational Black American things. When somebody really genuinely out here gets harmed, she's going to be the one who says Black people need to tone it down. Trust me when I tell you it's already happening.
Is that the Democratic Party has to figure out what they're going to do with their nominee. But it doesn't matter which person they pick. They could pick Shapiro in Pennsylvania. They could pick Vice President Harris. Right. They could pick, anybody they want. It doesn't matter. All of those people believe in the rule of law. All of those people believe in democracy. Mm-hmm. The problem is Trump. It could be, Biden could be, Biden's brain in a jar. I think a lot of people are like, I'll vote for that because at least Biden's brain in a jar still believes in the Constitution and does.
Wait a minute. Another alert. I'm sorry, y'all. These alerts just be popping up. You know how your phone be getting them Amber alerts? And they just start dinging and ringing. You might be asleep or something, and then an alert come on. We tend to get a lot of these alerts as well. I mean, they just popping up left and right. I don't know where that hand came from neither, or those little alarms. I don't know how they got there. You know what I'm saying? It just happened, man. It's a crazy world we live in. But another alert, I just want to make everybody aware that these alerts will come, pretty frequently. So just bear with me as we get through these hard to see hairlines.
Doesn't think that he's the king of the United States. Donald Trump does think he's king and would implement Project 2025 and would use these powers to their maximum detriment to the rest of the American. The weekend, President Biden said he's ready to take action. If
you heard her right there, you knew the Project 2025 was coming. Who talks about Project 2025 more than the Democratic shills? Who talks about Project 2025 more than them, y'all? And you know exactly why they do that. Project 2025 is really just they're going to put y'all back in chains. Y'all remember when Joe Biden was running around here saying they're going to put y'all back in chains. Y'all's going to be slaves again. That's what that is right there. And she's been the main one pushing that. This is what it is. We got 870 plus people in here. All of y'all subscribe if you haven't already. Certified salute to the family. And if you just got in, make sure you leave your city, your town, your state, your region in the chat. Yes, indeed. Let's continue.
Congress is serious about solving the border issue.
If that bill were the law today, I'd shut down the border right now and fix it quickly. And Congress needs to get it done.
Starting another fucking war.
Uh-oh. Hot mic. This almost got her canned a few weeks ago. This about a month or two ago. Watch this again.
Down the border right now and fix it quickly. And Congress needs to get it done.
Starting another fucking war.
Okay. I want y'all to hear that. Whoa. Let's go there. Let's talk about it. Notice how she starts saying that about starting another war, right? That was her hot mic moment, right? You notice they always get brave when they're not throwing us under the bus. See, when the cameras ain't rolling or it's a hot mic, she'll start trying to get, BALLS, right? Real good. But then they'll flip around with us. Then they got all this type of smoke. They was trying to get her out of there. She had to go on one of those morning shows with all those Karens and explain herself. The same way yesterday at the Republican National Convention, she had to explain herself well. And I'm going to show y'all here in a minute. Rachel Maddow and the whole panel of Karens G-checked her, and they threw her under the bus about her comments on Trump. You cannot make this up. Democratic shills, they have no retirement plan. There's nowhere to go. You're going to fall all the way out, and that's the only end to it. And we just enjoying the show. Proceed, family. Watch her continue.
Still trying to kill the deal. The weekend. Far more sinister is what's buried deep within Project 2025, which any person who sends their child to public school should care about. They want to mandate that all students in schools receiving federal funding must complete the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery. In plain English, that's a military entrance exam. If you flip to
pushing Project 2025 again. She does it every night on her show, y'all. It's Project 2025, Project 2025. Trump is coming to get all y'all black folks.
Page 134 of the 900-page Project 2025 manifesto, you'll read this proposal, and I quote, to improve military recruiters' access to secondary schools and require the completion of the Armed Services and Vocational Aptitude Battery, the military entrance examination, by all students in schools that receive federal funding. The irony and sort of the karmic irony that it is a black DA that Donald Trump has to face, and that he is getting the full.
There she goes again, talking black again. Look how she's flipping all over the place. Listen to what she's doing. Now she's trying to be black again, y'all. She's not black when she's throwing us under the bus, when she's wagging her finger. Now, out of nowhere, she's saying, well, the black DA. Remember, it was the Democratic shills that were trying to do the whole thing where it was black folks putting those indictments on Trump. It wasn't black folks putting them indictments on Trump. No, those black folks was taking their orders from the dominant society. They are going to throw all the other people under the bus, the Alvin Braggs, the Fani Willis. Notice when Fani Willis got that case on her, you didn't see all her friends from the dominant society coming to help her. Hell no, they left her out there. Yep, it was all of them being the proxy, all right, doing the dirty work, doing the heavy lifting, carrying the water. And it was Joyless Reid who was on TV every night trying to make the whole Trump indictment about black people, knowing damn well black people were the ones who cared the least about any of that. No black person was saying, I don't really want reparations. I don't really want tangibles. I don't really want an anti-foundational black American hate crime bill. I want to see Trump get indicted. But don't tell that to Joyless Reid, because she was the main one trying to push that line.
Entrance examination by all students in schools that receive federal funding. The irony and sort of the karmic irony that it is a black DA that Donald Trump has to face, and that he is getting the full, he's being afforded all of the full protections of the law is something. It's getting clearer by the day that Donald Trump is not okay. But his cognitive decline goes far beyond just verbal slip-ups.
Wait a minute. Donald Trump's cognitive decline? Wait a minute. Whoa. Look what she's doing now, y'all. She's taking what we pointed out about Joe Biden being 3,036 years old, not knowing who he is or where he's at, and she's trying to flip that on to Donald Trump. Remember, everything she's saying, y'all, she's trying to speak it as if it's coming from the black grassroots, because she cosplays black Americans and she cosplays our political agenda. This is why we reject these Democratic shills, family. Watch her now trying to say that Donald Trump is the one who has the gaffes. Donald Trump is the one who's too old. Donald Trump is the one who doesn't know what he's talking about. You cannot come up with anything real when it comes to a shield.
It's his increasingly deranged and dangerous rhetoric that's particularly concerning. Don't just take it from me. His own former White House communications director, Alyssa Farah Griffin, said in an interview this weekend that during his administration, Trump casually talked about executing people multiple times. But that's not what we have right now. Instead, we have a normal president and a former president who is poised to be his party's nominee again, who rants and rambles and lies, who is a 34-count felon and a coup plotter, who tried to steal an election and admires dictators, who vows vengeance and brags that he'll be a dictator, and who has zero respect for the debate stage, for democracy, for half the population, meaning women or immigrants or black and brown Americans, but lots of seeming...
Oh, there go to black and brown. Notice, fam, whenever she starts throwing out different demographics, she always throws black in there after she said everyone else. And then when she does say black, she includes other groups as well. Typical Democratic playbook right there. And if you see all of that rhetoric, right now, family, we done showed about 5 minutes of her rhetoric. Do not let nobody put this off on black Americans. She says more of this than anybody. And we're not wearing that jacket. So after what happened on Saturday happened, Joyless, you're going to have to hold that L. You're going to have to hold it. It was real sweet when you was getting on TV every night trying to be a spokesperson for FBA, knowing damn well your people from the Congo, all right, damn well. But now you want to start saying things like, oh, we need to keep the peace and all that. No, you wasn't saying that when you thought you was going to be able to dump this off on us.
Election and admires dictators, who vows vengeance and brags that he'll be a dictator, and who has zero respect for the debate stage, for democracy, for half the population, meaning women or immigrants or black and brown Americans, but lots of seeming respect for Adolf Hitler. And so we are forcing...
You knew that was coming. What's everybody been talking about this week? Everybody's been talking about that comparison between Trump and the person she just named, Hitler. Notice right here, family, she is pushing that line. Black Americans ain't been pushing that because, quite frankly, we don't care enough. Watch her do it again.
Seeming respect for Adolf Hitler. And so we are forcing a deeply unserious person into a serious situation because this is how we've always done it, right? But guess what? The normal formula doesn't work for someone like Trump.
Damn. Where do we unpack? First off, certified salute to the whole FBA family. We in here. We got 1,000 folks in here. Another one. So certified salute to everybody. Yes, indeed. I want everybody to smash that like button, subscribe to the Black Alpha Network. You're going to enjoy the rest of this show, family, because we just getting started. I think this is our earliest right here, family. We got 1,000 people in here in about 30 minutes. That is phenomenal. You guys are the MVP, so definitely salute yourself, man. Love y'all all with a passion. Let's take this to another level. FBA always wins, y'all. You see right there, that rhetoric, all the cosplaying, talking like you're foundational Black American. Okay, first off, we got to get that straight. She ain't no FBA. We're going to put that on the table. And all that stuff that she was sitting there talking, that does not apply to us. Never at all. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Black Alpha Network. Let's go. Certified all the time, y'all. Certified all the time. I need to see the real meaning. Salute to everybody in there, too. I see y'all in the chat, man. Certified salute to you, Gene. Much love, brother. I got you. You already know. We got these, brother. You know. This is what we're talking about. Oh, we're going to get D.L. Hughley, too. Oh, yeah. Lock in, y'all. I don't know what you got playing tonight, but make sure you spend this Tuesday night with the Black Alpha Network, y'all. We're going to have a good time. It's all Big One family, man. Y'all know how we is. We're a family every time we get here, y'all. It's all love, man. The chat is where it's at. I told y'all, we do this all together. Unite the city. We all one family. We all the FBA family tree. We got the East Coast heavy in here tonight. We got the West Coast heavy in here tonight. We got down south in the building, and we got the Midwest. You can't lose when you got all that, family. All of that right there, that quadruple, that makes up the foundational Black American family tree, and we excellent. Can't stop us. Joyless Reid definitely can't either. So as you seen that right there, all the cosplaying, listen to what she was saying. She said, oh, something more sinister. Oh, Project 2025. Oh, this man, he wants to be just like Hitler. This man is coming to get you. This man is this. See, these shields get comfortable. The worst thing ever is when these shields get comfortable. They get so comfortable, they literally believe that they can do whatever they want to do and get away with it. They're so used to taking orders and dumping all of their trash on the Black Americans. Eventually, they start feeling they can do that to other W's. It's only natural, all right? Their whole game plan is to disrespect Black Americans. So every now and then, they start trying to bite the hand that feeds them, their butter biscuits. That's eventually what ends up happening. And that's what Joyless was doing. And let me make this clear as we sit here and we talk about Joyless. Certified salute to Birmingham. I see you. Let's go. That right there is where Joyless Reid is from. Can we make this clear, y'all? Okay, that's her homeland. I don't see her ever talking about that homeland, though. Yeah, certified salute to you, T.L. Myers. Appreciate you. First time listener. Oh, you're going to love it over here on the Black Alpha Network. Yes, indeed. Yes, the chat is where it's at, man. Great time. Every time we pull up. That right there. Absolutely. And you're right. You're right, Patricia. Just like Candace Owens. Candace Owens gets to the point where she starts thinking literally that she's a W woman. She really in her head believes that stuff. This is what they do. There's a lot of delusion that comes along with a shield. Family, if somebody is from that background right there that you see on that picture, why are they worrying about foundational Black Americans? Why are they talking about us? Why are you involved in our politics? Why are you even concerned with anything other than trying to feed them folks over there? I mean, you could probably spend the rest of your life, not probably, hell, you could spend the rest of your life trying to fix what's going on over there and still not get it fixed. Where do you have the time to worry about what we doing? We are straight. How the song go? We gonna be all right? Not we gonna be all right. We are all right. Matter of fact, we better than that. We better than good. We great. We better than perfection. This is what foundational Black Americans are doing. So she's over there talking about us and our culture when reality shows her people living like that. She may not tell you that is her people, but all we do is some simple research and we see that is your people. And your people is struggling real bad. And when you're struggling real bad like that, you need to mind your own tether business because we're minding our own foundational business. You see the difference between the two of them? That is where we are with it. And remember this, family, when you start talking about these Democratic shields, you've seen everything she was saying. Okay, everything she said was boogeyman, boogeyman, boogeyman. I'm going to go as far as say Joy Reid has been on the front line of all of that inflammatory language about Trump. All right, all of that. Whether somebody agrees with it or not, you don't go out there and say those things on national television because when things like Saturday happens, an attempt on Trump, you look real bad. And don't come running to us trying to get saved when they cancel you, Joy. If they canceled Morning Joe, then you know damn well they're going to cancel morning, afternoon, and night Joy. All right? Joy and Joe, both going to be gone. Do not come putting that on us. This is why, family, and this time, this is the first an attempt on a president or ex-president in a lot of people's lifetimes, okay? The last one was Reagan in the 80s. If you were around back then, then you know what it is. Anybody else who wasn't around, this is the first time. This is historic. So we're not going to allow these people to try to put that off on FBA. Hell no. Y'all see that right there? They're not going to put that off on us. You better put the Congo on it, not FBA. Hell no. This is what we're doing. We got to reject all of that stuff because what they're going to do is try to put it back on FBA. And remember this, not only was she saying all that stuff about Project 2025 and everything, and I said they on her. Look at this right here, y'all. Check this out. This is also the same Joyless Reid who ran around and said this about voting. This is how desperate these people get when it comes to voting, y'all. They will throw the whole community under the bus to try to get one vote. They all got the same thing in common. Watch what she says about who she gonna vote for. Watch it.
It's gonna be, let me know when you guys are finished fighting amongst yourselves who I gotta vote for in November to keep Hitler out the White House. That's all I want to know.
There goes another one. There goes another Hitler statement. Now when everybody's out here, y'all, and they talking about we need to calm down the rhetoric, we need to calm down the tone, we need to quit having violence in politics because that's been the headline for the last 3 days. The politics are too much. Joe Biden got on TV and he said we need to tone it down. Donald Trump said we need to tone it down. The left and the right been saying they need to tone it down. It's people like Joyless who is on the front line saying it the loudest, but yet she was trying to make it look like she was speaking for us. Hell no. You better speak for that Fleeman forehead.
Who I gotta vote for to keep Hitler out the White House. Y'all do your thing. Play in traffic all you want in front of these Republicans, acting a fool in front of these people instead of privately.
Look at, hey, what? I got to stop that. Look what she said. Yo, out there acting a fool in front of these people. Family, y'all know damn well that's exactly what foundational Black Americans say. That's FBA culture. She done got that from us. She done got that from us. Freeze for a minute. That right there. Look how she's trying to apply our language, right? What did we say? When you see Mayo and Miracle Whip going at it, you don't be out here acting a fool in front of these folks. But it's funny how she acts a fool in front of these folks. You notice that right there, right? That right there is the point we've been making. We've been making that whole point, y'all, that when you run around here and you out here in these streets acting crazy, what did our grandparents see? That's FBA stuff. That's how they be stealing from us. She's trying to talk like us. You didn't get that in the Congo. You didn't get that in the Congo or wherever you from. That comes from us. You know, our family, our grandparents, brothers, sisters, they always said, don't you be acting a fool out here in front of these folks. You stay in your lane, you let them folks do what they do. She's out here trying to say that, but that's not what she's doing. That's how you know she's on some tetherism, because she's talking about not being out there in front of these folks. But yet it's funny how she does that when it comes to Democrats and Republicans, though. Yeah. She can't see it in terms of supremacy. When it comes to supremacy, she don't view that and she don't implement it. But when it comes to the dominant society on some political stuff, then she do it. Quit trying to run with our phrases. Quit trying to run with our talking points. Quit trying to run with our narratives. Quit trying to take what our grandparents told us. You don't do that because in your homeland, they told you to come over here and be next to those people. In our homeland, right here in America, we said, let them people do what the hell they do. Mind your own business. Big difference. This is what we're talking about when we say cosplaying, family.
Y'all do your thing. Play in traffic all you want in front of these Republicans, acting a fool in front of these people instead of privately declaring your stuff. But don't text me no more, because I'm not
acting a fool in front of these people, trying to run with our stuff.
taking no more of these texts. Just let me know when you guys are finished figuring it out, Democrats, because I know y'all the freak out people. Go ahead and freak out, have your conversation, and then let me know who I got to vote for to keep Hitler out the White House. That's it. I'm done.
She said it already 3 times, y'all.
Oh, and by the way, if it's Biden in a coma, I'm going to vote for Biden in a coma. I don't even really particularly like the guy. A lot of his policies, don't like him. He's not Donald Trump, right? Yeah. Hitler, White House. We keep it.
Said it again. How many times is that? Is that 4 times already, y'all? Is that 4 times she said that? Listen to what she's saying, y'all. She said that 4 times already.
And I'm out. Keeping Project 2025 out. That's all I care about. Up and down the ballot, from the rooter to the tutor, school board, all the way up to White House and everything in between. Governors, members of Congress. I'm just going to vote all the way down to keep these people out. The Project 2025 thing is the whole Republican Party. At this point, it's not about Biden. It is not about him. It's above me now. There's a Best Western next door. It is about keeping Donald Trump and his Project 2025 friends out of power. That's it for me, y'all.
It's not about Biden? Wait a minute. Did she just say that the presidential election is not about the candidate? Did she just say this election is not about the guy who's running for office? She just literally said it has nothing to do with Biden. She said she would vote for him if he was in a coma? Hold up.
These people out. The Project 2025 thing is the whole Republican Party. At this point, it's not about Biden. It is not about him. It's above me now. There's a Best Western next door. It is about keeping Donald Trump and his Project 2025 friends out of power. That's it for me, y'all.
Damn. You see what we say when we talk about shilling, y'all. These folks will shill all the way across the board. She literally just said that the 2024 election is nothing to do with one of the candidates. She said she don't want one and the other one could be in a coma. What kind of precedence is that? What kind of political strategy is that? And I want to say this to y'all because I've been thinking about this all day. I couldn't wait to load this up, man, and chop it up with the family about this one. Y'all notice when we say we're not going to vote unless they give us tangibles, they try to shame us. But yet she just said she'll vote for a person who's in a coma. So you can vote for somebody who's in a coma, and that's okay, and that's good. But demanding something for your vote is bad. That right there, family, is your typical Democratic shield. That's why we throwing out them damn shield alerts. Yes, indeed. That is shield talk all the way across the damn board, y'all. This person said, I don't care if you are in a coma. I'm going to vote for you anyway. That is basically a sophisticated way of saying vote blue, no matter who. That's the same type of logic. And I want y'all to notice, no other community has anybody else who practices those style of politics. You've never seen anyone from any other community say that they would vote for a person who is in a coma. You've never seen it. You will never see it. That is something that no other community would ever practice because that is nowhere near the way the political system is. So voting couch is bad. Voting coma is good. Whoa, let me say this one more time. Hold up. Voting couch is wrong. Voting coma is good. That's your Democratic shield right there. That is your typical Democratic shield right there. And that's why things are the way they are with these people. And if you think that was bad, family, let's go there with more shield talk. We got another shield alert. Just came across the wire. If you think that was bad enough, y'all, we got 1.1 thousand people in here, man. Everybody smash that like button. Subscribe to the Black Alpha Network. I need everybody to subscribe. If you're listening, smash that subscribe, smash that like button. Let's talk about Whoopi. I know y'all seen what Whoopi said. Whoopi said something I feel was even worse. Family, Whoopi said something even worse. And family, just when you thought it couldn't get no bad, more bad than that right there about a coma, this person said something even more messed up. Once again, fair use, YouTube. This is about news, reporting, teaching, and scholarship, research. Fair use enacted, fair use. Listen to what Whoopi said she would do for Joe Biden. We got a coma, and then now you see this.
On the day that y'all talked about it. I don't care if he's pooped his pants. I don't care if he can't put us together. Show me he can't do the job, and then I'll say, okay, maybe it's time to go. Now, he had a bad night the first time. He's pooped his pants. He's pooped his pants. Pooped his pants. Pooped his pants. I don't care if he can't put a sentence together.
Damn. This is what they're trying to get foundational Black Americans to go vote for. This is the low bottom dwelling that they're trying to put off on our lineage. She literally just sat there and said she doesn't care if this man poops his pants or if he cannot put a sentence together. She's still going to vote for him. And then they turn around and they tell very, very intelligent, articulate, sophisticated, foundational Black American brothers and sisters that we are wrong for demanding tangibles for our vote. So to them, let's get this straight. To them, family, a tangible is a coma and a tangible is him relieving himself. That's what they say. Damn shame. Now, who's really out here fouling out? Damn sure ain't certified Black society. Damn sure ain't us. That's what we talking about. And Whoopi been off code for years, all the way. And it's funny that they say that, though. How many of y'all remember some of the videos I was showing y'all with Joe Biden actually doing what she said that she'd still vote for him for? She was actually saying something that we've been seeing that he's been doing for quite some time. Yeah. Joe Biden has actually been out there doing exactly that right there. And I got some evidence to show you. Y'all remember the last time we seen Joe have a little accident issue? Did y'all see this one? Tell me y'all remember the last one. All my people, y'all remember what happened when he went over there and he had that little D-Day memorial? Yeah, well, guess what, family? He done did it again. Now he done went over there, family. Right here in America, when he got back here, he did the same exact thing, family. Check this out right here. When she said that she would vote for him, no matter what, this is what she's talking about. What's he doing, y'all? Somebody tell me what the hell is he doing? Is he doing it again, y'all? Is he doing exactly what? Is he doing exactly what Whoopi Goldberg said that she would vote for him? Let's see one more time, y'all. Let me run that back. Hold up. Why are you freezing, Joe? Joe, what are you doing? What's going on? What's going on over there, Joe? We already seen the whole situation at D-Day. Now it look like there's another situation. Hold up. Wait a minute. I want y'all to notice, too. Watch how Jill Biden walks off because she knows what's happening. I'm sorry. I got to be petty. Bear with me for a few petty moments. Look at this right here, y'all. This is what Whoopi wants. Hey, she said this is her tangible. Let her get her tangibles. Here we go. Her tangibles is to see Joe Biden stop and relieve himself, which is the second or third time that we see. Look at Joe. Look at Joe, y'all. What's he doing? I'm just saying. And look at Jill. Jill walk off. Look. Jill walking away. She said, again. This man literally just stops. He makes these like squatting gestures. He don't know where he's at. Don't know where he's from. Cannot finish a complete sentence to the point where Jill, look at Jill's looking. Look at that. Jill's looking right now. And Jill says, hold up. What's it? This man literally stopped and started doing squats. And he ain't got no weights in his hand. Somebody tell me what's really going on out here in these streets. Yeah, exactly. The same exact thing that happened the last time. Yeah, same exact thing. Just being real. But remember, that's what Whoopi said that she wants to vote for. She said she'll vote for that. All right. So she's only getting what she asked for. She said she's down for that type of game. So if she's down for that type of game, then that's what she's going to go ahead and put her name on that dotted line for. You already know. This is the low bottom dwelling that these type of folks be on. We're not done with that. Okay. For those who did not see the first time. All right. All my day ones, y'all remember this right here. All my day ones, y'all remember this. Let's go ahead and look. This was about a month ago. The one I just showed you was a few weeks ago. This is what Whoopi wants, y'all. Not tangibles. Nope. Not reparations. She wants a guy who does that on stage. Family, doesn't that look eerily similar to what we just seen a minute ago? Look at that. Come on. This is what the Democratic shields are asking for. Nah, not an anti-foundational Black American hate crime bill. No. Not reparations. No. Not a simple tangible. Not better employment or economics or education. They said that they would vote for a guy and they don't care if he poops his pants. There you go. They got it. Look at that right there. That right there is your Democratic agenda. That right there is what the Democratic shields have asked for. That picture you see on your screen is what Whoopi Goldberg, what Joyless Reid, what Roland Martin all are asking for. They don't want anything other than that. And then they expect them to not get no smoke from foundational Black Americans. You gonna get you some smoke. Yes, the hell you are. Because we ain't standing on that type of time. Now, difference between us and them is that we certified and they counterfeit. The very fact is that we are authentic and they are artificial. And make it even worse than that, family, foundational Black Americans are actually out here demanding something that we can actually see. And they out here demanding a pair of wet wipes. Big difference between us and them. It's always that way. Certified. Not done, y'all. Check this out. When we say that they own it, right? We say now the dominant society is like they fed up. They ain't really on that type of time. When we say Joyless Reid got some problems, they over there going in on Joyless Reid way over in the UK and Australia. Yeah, here comes the blowback, all right? Now, since we done put together all the comas and stuff that they say they cool with, we done already see they low budget ass agenda. Let's show you what happens when you out here running your mouth. If you running your mouth, things come back. Things come back all the way around. They out here going in on Joyless Reid all the way across the pond, y'all. Check this out right here. I came across folks way over in the UK and Australia. Are they blaming the guy who actually made the attempt on Donald Trump? Nope. They blaming Joyless Reid. Yes. Are they blaming the W liberals for what went on with Donald Trump? No. They blaming Joyless Reid. Notice that the dominant society knows how to go around all the Karens, go around all the Kens, go around all the people on the rooftops with them pews. They know how to go around all that and say, I'm going to blame the Black person. Yeah, that person. So when we say the blowback was going to come, all that rhetoric, all that stuff, and she was talking about it sinister, and she sat there and called that man all those names and associated him with all those dictators. She thought that she was going to continuously get the pass. And we said that it was all going to come back onto them. Look at this right here, you guys. Joyless Reid is literally out here getting dissed by the Sky News all the way over in Australia. Yes, the Australians, the Aussies, they said, we're not going to talk about any other W. Because remember, all they do is have a little spat, a little feud. But they deep down inside want to put the blame on Black people. That's what happened. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Check this out, y'all. Watch how way over in Sky News on Australia networks, they over there blaming Joyless Reid.
And Brad, we've seen a lot of inflammatory.
Look at that. Sky News. Look at that, family. Sky News. And this is an Australian accent, family.
rhetoric lately by the Democrats. And have a look at this tweet from Biden Harris HQ. It says 4th of July under Trump's Project 2025. I mean, this looks like a religious gathering from the Handmaid's Tale. I mean, this sort of rhetoric is so unhelpful. If you're a loon with a vengeance, you'd be inspired by this sort of propaganda, Brad.
Yeah, look, Biden has come out since the assassination attempt on Donald Trump and condemned it, of course. And I guess he deserves some credit for meeting that bare moral minimum. But I mean, how many times do lefties and the Biden administration and liberal media outlets have to suggest with their absurd hyperbole and alarmism that Trump's America would be literally the Handmaid's Tale, basically saying that women would be forced into sex slavery? That's what that is a reference to. And how many times do they have to say that Trump would be a dictator by distorting one joke he made out of context? Or how many, I mean, we've had MSNBC anchors suggest without evidence that Trump would take their show off air, say over and over again, he represents an existential threat to American democracy. Also say that he's literally Hitler. That's what Joy Reid, one very angry and
Whoa. I told y'all, no lie. We got receipts all the way. Listen to how he said the liberals, and then he went around that. He went around the Democrats. He went around the actual shooter, and he went straight to Joy Reid. And notice he was about to call her the N-word. Watch this. This is what we say. You can tap dance for Zaddy all you want to, but Zaddy still feels that you are the N-I-G-G-E-R.
How many, I mean, we've had MSNBC anchors suggest without evidence that Trump would take their show off air, say over and over again, he represents an existential threat to American democracy. Also say that he's literally Hitler. That's what Joy Reid, one Hitler. That's what Joy Reid, one very Hitler. That's what Joy Reid, one very angry and unhinged MSNBC analyst.
Whoa. Did y'all catch that? Tell me you caught that. One very angry, well, he was about to call her the angry black woman. Look, this is what I'm saying. She been out here trying to get her hair to look like Donald Trump's. She been out here trying to look like Karen. She been out here trying to appease Karen, trying to appease the dominant society. And look how they feel. This is folks over in Australia. This is Sky News, family. And look how they singled out Joy Reid. Family, an ex-president literally got pew-pewed at on stage. And in Australia, they're talking about Joy Reid. Tell me there is any type of retirement plan for Shilling. You get nothing from Shilling. They on you, Joy, all the way. Watch what he says right here. And I want y'all to notice, he says, an angry. Now, Morning Joe just got took off the air. Nobody said nothing about Morning Joe. How come you didn't say that about Morning Joe? He got took off the air. Yeah. He skipped over Morning Joe, skipped over liberals, skipped over Democrats, skipped over the shooter and said, let's talk about that black woman who thinks that she's one of us. They always punish their shields first.
Say over and over again, he represents an existential threat to American democracy. Also say that he's literally Hitler. That's what Joy Reid, one very angry and unhinged MSNBC analyst, said just recently.
Oh, you know he wanted to drop that N-word so bad. One angry, and unhinged. And he put an N in there. He put about 3 N's that didn't need to be there. He almost slipped up, y'all.
One very angry and unhinged MSNBC analyst said just recently. How many times do they have to say this kind of alarmist, doomsday, fear-mongering nonsense before one crazy person listens and takes their words seriously and acts accordingly? And that's what I suspect happened Saturday night. Obviously, we don't have final confirmation of the shooter's motivation, but even if not, it's only a matter of time. You can't continue to engage in this kind of the sky is falling, fear-mongering, doomsday rhetoric and expect there to never be any consequences or anybody who actually takes what you're saying at face value.
There you go. Look at that right there, y'all. You see how that was playing out. They literally just blamed her for the whole situation. They made it look like she the one who did it. But you know what? You stand next to Zaddy and you get blamed, that's all on you. You stand next to Karen, you tap dance, that's all on you. We not putting on no cape for nobody. Nope. Remember, she been out here cosplaying Black Americans. She been out here trying to act like she's the gatekeeper of our community. So when it all boils back down and comes back on your shoulders, all right, you're going to have to deal with it. When it all comes back down on your wig, you're going to have to deal with it. Do not put that on FBA. We ain't going for it. Look at this. That's not the only one. That right there that we just seen a minute ago, that was Ken. That's the Australian Ken. Let's talk about the Australian Karen. She don't like Joy neither. I'm telling you, They're blaming the Democratic shills for what happened to Donald Trump because they would never blame each other.
You can always count on Chief Loon, MSNBC host Joy Reid, to defend Joe Biden to the last man. I mean, it doesn't matter. He messed up Trump and Kamala and Putin and Zelensky. Here's Joycey B looking out for her man.
Yes, he did make a couple of gaffes and call people the wrong names, but I mean, I do that. and Biden's been gaffy for literally his entire career. It's literally like a meme of Joe Biden that he does gaffes. Like, he's very much known for them. It's kind of a Biden thing. Him doing gaffes is basically him Bidening. That's what he does. Gaffes. It's his thing.
Yeah, but who cares if he's the president? I mean, he's gaffy. It's his thing. Well, now you mentioned it, Joycey. It truly is.
Look how she disrespecting her, calling her Joycey. Not even calling her Joy Reid. Okay, Joycey. Joycey, how do you want it, Joycey? Listen to that. This is all the way over there. This is the Australian. Yeah, you ain't lying. That's the Australian Becky. You getting dissed by the Australian Becky. So you see, whether you in America, whether you in the UK, whether you in Australia, wherever the dominant society is at, they get on code. They get on code real quick. Look how she disrespected her. She called her the chief Democratic loon.
You can always count on Chief Loon, MSNBC host Joy Reid, to defend Joe Biden. You can always count on Chief Loon, MSNBC host Joy Reid, to
Damn, they out there dissing you. Oh, they get blamed. Oh, it's a wrap. It's already wrapped up. I'm telling you. The future's already playing, y'all. I'm telling you. You're going to see all of this back and forth between the dominant society you've been seeing. And Trump about to get on that stage on Thursday. When Trump gets on that stage, because Trump been real smooth the last few days, all right? Trump took that situation. He ate that. He started coming out talking about peace, talking about justice, talking about we all need to get along. So now the dominant society is going to try to start putting Band-Aids and patch that up. And the first thing they're going to say is it's not really our fault. We didn't do this because the chickens came home to roost. We didn't do this because we have violence. We did this because of Joy Reid. We did this because of Van Jones and Roland Martin. It's their fault. Remember, after JFK was harmed, what ended up happening after JFK was harmed? Out of nowhere, you started seeing riots and protests from the dominant society and was harming black people. How many of y'all remember Hurricane Katrina? All right, I'm sure you do. You remember what happened after Hurricane Katrina? The dominant society has a history of doing this type of behavior. After Hurricane Katrina, a damn hurricane, which was weather, the dominant society started having militia groups and going after black people. You mean to tell me weather, okay, actually caused the problem? They created militias and were rounding up black people. They always do this thing whenever something happens to them, the blowback comes on the nearest black person. That's just what they do. That's how the system of supremacy operates. That's how these folks move. After Hurricane Katrina, fam, the first thing they did was start looking for black folks to go blame. All right. When JFK got hit, the first thing they start doing, how can we go get black folks? That's what they always do. You can always go back. Y'all remember that lady back in the 90s where she put her kids in the car and put it off in the lake? Y'all remember that? Okay. If any of y'all remember her name, I don't remember her name. The lady was a W woman. She put her kids in the car, put it off in the lake, and then she got on TV and said a black man did it. They was rounding up black folks from the East Coast to the West Coast. Didn't even care how old you was. Black folks didn't even fit the description, and they was rounding them up. She could say it was a black man who was 5'9" with a beard and bald head. They was rounding up folks with braids, with afros, with jerry curls. Didn't even matter. That's what they do. Essentially, they stub their feet on the wall and then blame black people. It's the same exact thing, family, Susan, that's what it was. Susan Smith, thank you guys. Yep, y'all remember that. What happened? I remember the next day on the news, family, I was a kid. I was super young. They were damn near trying to round me up, and I was a damn baby. They didn't give a damn. You could be in a stroller. They was going to try to pull you over and have you go sit in the lineup. It'd be somebody this tall, that tall, a little baby, and they was going to put that blame on a black person. A black person was going to take that blame. Trust me, they going to blame a black person for the Trump situation. It highlights the dominant society way too goddamn much. Way too much. Certified salute to you, Kremlin. I see you, family. This is what they do. They're not going to sit back and just let that go. Hell no. This will come down on black people. So it's essential that we stand over there. We are over there on the other side of the street, so it's documented. It wasn't FBA talking about that. No, that was Joyless Reid, Roland Martin. That was D.L. Hughley. They was the ones getting real butter biscuit bold. All right? We're going to put that in the lexicon. They was getting butter biscuit bold, where the butter biscuits done empower them to start slapping the hand of massa. All right? They done been used as proxies to go against the Republicans so much that they start forgetting that the Republican and the Democrat are friends, they're brothers, they're sisters. They all go home and eat the same mashed potatoes with no seasoning, all right? They all go home and eat the Brussels sprouts, all right? These people are friends. This is what happens. Candace Owens started thinking that. She thinks just because one W will use her to go against another W that they're not going to team up. Soon as you do all that dirty work, they're going to walk right home. What happened during all the protests back in the day with the 2020, the Breonna Taylor and all them. Them W's was coming to our neighborhoods. They was starting all those fires, and then they was going right back home. And then the black person was there when the police showed up. It's the same exact thing that happens politically. Black folks do all the heavy lifting. Joyless Reid, she sits there and reads her little script and says, okay, call him this, call him this, call him this, do this, do this, do this, to impress massa. And then when something bad happens, like on Saturday with Trump, then the next thing you know, family, they say, blame black folks for it. Yep, the W's have a way of disappearing when the punishment comes down. And a lot of these shills be sitting there like, what happened? I thought that you was going to come save me, Master Joe Biden. I thought you was going to come save me, Democrat. What happened? You was right here a minute ago. When I turned around and then looked back, you was gone. How'd you get gone so fast? Next thing you know, here come all the W's. And that same W Democrat that was sending you out there to do the dirty work, now he's sitting there with the Republican and their friends. It's basically the prosecutor and the defense attorney. They go to lunch together. You see it all the time at the courthouse. I'm telling you, it happens in every element of society. That's why it's called the SOS, the system of supremacy. It's not void anywhere. Everything is subjected to it. You see the same back and forth between the W's, and then they connect when it matters. They get on code. Those W's we just showed right there, on Sky News in Australia, they're getting on code with their W's over here in America, whether that's liberal or conservative. Why are they sitting there talking about it? These folks ain't even liberal conservative. They're not even involved in our politics. They're not involved in our politics, but yet they're getting involved in our politics. Why do they care in Australia what a liberal and a conservative is doing? Why do they care? I'm going to tell you why. Because they all W's, all right? They all W's and they all on the same page and they all got on code. And Joyless Reid and them folks think that them being over here next to Karen means that they are connected to Karen. No, the hell you're not. Because Karen in America will sell Joyless Reid out for Karen way over there in Australia if it means it. That's what you call supremacist relatives up. It's always been that way. Always been that way, family. Yes, indeed. Let me proceed with it. That's not the only time. This is what happens, family, when you start tap dancing. This is what happens. They always, like we say, family, they always put the blame on black folks. That's just what's going to happen. It does not matter. At the end, they're going to put the blame on black Americans because this is what they do. So what we're doing now, since we're on code more than ever, right? What we're doing, we're making it clear that we stand here and we disassociate ourselves. Delineating politically has been a great thing because now they can't say, well, Roland said it. I thought you and Roland were on the same page. Nope, we're not. Joy Reid said it. I thought y'all was on the same page. Nope, we're not. It's known now that the Democratic SHILL and foundational Black Americans, we're not the same. See, the African American, they would be on the same page with the Democrats. So whatever a Democratic SHILL would say, it would reflect onto them. Nothing they can say, nothing they can do reflects on foundational Black Americans because the whole goddamn world knows that we disassociate ourselves from them. That's the power of delineation, y'all. The very much power of delineation. Check this out. One love. Here we go. Let's continue, y'all. This is more rhetoric, but family, this is the worst. I saved the worst for last. Family, I need y'all to see this. This right here is what I mean when I say that we separate ourselves from them completely. This is what I mean when I say what they speak on has nothing to do with us. As they are out here and they're saying those things about Donald Trump, foundational Black Americans, we denounce everything that a Democratic SHILL is saying about Trump because we know the blowback is going to come down and we're going to be popping popcorn while they're going to be canceling Joyless. Watch her say how Trump is a dictator and how they're trying to repeal all of our freedoms.
Don't care about Joe Biden's age, infirmity, that he shuffled when he walked. I don't care. He could be seated for the rest of from now to election day and never get up off a chair. He could sit down. He could roll around in a wheelchair. He could be on a skateboard, seated. I don't care. Donald John Trump cannot be allowed back into the White House because if you combine that madman with this court, two of whose members are insurrectionists one of whom flew an upside down flag at his home and landed on his wife, who's also crazy. The other of whose wife literally was part of the insurrection. So they are kings and Trump is king. You put him in the White House combined with this court and a Republican House and Senate, we're done, y'all. All the rights that were won in the 20th century, the hard-earned rights of women, laborers, workers, the rights.
Look how she's throwing everybody in there but us. I told you, when she starts going down demographics, they leave black folks at the tail end of it, as if we're not the ones who provided all those people. Let's make it clear. The only people who fought for rights in this country were black Americans. Everybody else either tried to get in on our fight or they benefited and showed up at the end of our fight. And she is one of those people. She should be saying FBA first, because if it wasn't for FBA, her family wouldn't be here in the first place. But she says labor. She said labor unions did more for rights than black Americans. Listen to this, y'all. This is what we're talking about. This is the insanity that these Democratic shills speak. And she says that he's trying to repeal the last century. Okay.
With this court and a Republican House and Senate, we're done, y'all. All the rights that were won in the 20th century, the hard-earned rights of women, laborers, workers, the rights of children. Remember, child labor used to be legal. The rights of black folks, forget that. The rights of
family, hold up. Nah, wait, goddamn. No, I'm sorry. I apologize, family, for having to stop that. No, we got to address that. Did she just say the rights of children? Did she say the hard-earned rights of children? I believe that's what I just heard. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me she did not just sit there and say, she is putting a list together of rights that are being repealed, of accomplishments of the 20th century. Tell me she did not just say children over black Americans. She said labor over black Americans. So basically, in her Democratic shield world, all the accomplishments that occurred in the 20th century, it goes children, black Americans, okay? Where black Americans allowed her family's children to come here. She literally put us beneath children and labor workers. I told you, every time they talk about us, they always throw us at the bottom. And then when they do speak of us, they intertwine us with everybody else. This is the mentos these folks have, y'all. This is the mentality. Here we go. Furthermore,
the hard-earned rights of women, laborers, workers, the rights of children. Remember, child labor used to be legal. The rights of black folks, forget that. The rights of non-white immigrants, forget that. All of the 20th, they are trying to repeal the entire 20th century, and they're doing it fast. Between them and these crazy Republican governors, they are repealing the American century, the 20th century, because they don't like it and they want back the 19th century, the century when nation, and they are dismantling it. They're coming for every single one of our rights. They're not done. They're not done. They're not.
Family, listen to this fear-mongering. Listen to this, y'all. Listen to this fear-mongering. This is a Steven Spielberg movie. Listen to this. All she's doing is saying they're not done. They're coming to get us. Matter of fact, she said, we're done, y'all. We're done. Listen to this fear-mongering. This is what we're talking about. You want to speak about a climate that ended up occurring that allowed Donald Trump to get harmed? It's this right here. Democratic shield energy. Clear as day. This is all documented. She said we are all done and they want to repeal the 20th century. She didn't even say a decade. She said they want to repeal the whole 100 years. Shameful.
And they are dismantling it. They're coming for every single one of our rights. They're not done. They're not done. They're not done. They're not done. If you love having your freedom, having the freedom for contraception, LGBTQ rights, that's going too. If you don't think they're coming for Obergefell.
Oh, there you go. You knew she was going to throw in some Skittles now. So family, we heard Skittles, we heard Karens, and we heard children. Nothing about FBA. She'll talk.
If you don't think they're coming for all these rights, then you are delusional. They're coming for all of it. They're dismantling the 20th century. They are repealing the 20th century. This ain't about Joe Biden anymore, y'all. It ain't about his policies. There are a lot of them I disagree with. There's a lot of them I disagree with deeply, deeply, morally. It's not, it's above me now. It's above him now. You cannot allow Republicans to control the White House, the House, and the Senate, and the Supreme Court, and all of these states. You're now voting for your life. Listen to Taraji P. Henson, y'all. Project 2025. They've now just implemented it from the court. Now, you're now voting for your life. Listen to Taraji P. Henson, y'all. Voting for your life. Listen to Taraji P. Henson, y'all. Project 2025. They've now just implemented it from the court.
Damn, family. I don't know what I should do, family. Should we go vote or should we just go board our houses up? Should we just go lock everything up, family? Listen to what she just sat there and told us, y'all. She literally said, we are done. She said, it's not over yet. And she said, vote for your life. This person said, vote for your life. This is literally where they're at. Mind you, this is the same person who said a coma's okay. A couch is bad. And we better all go vote for our life. Come on, y'all. Come on. That's the type of energy we ain't really standing on, y'all. Foundational Black Americans, we're not going for that. We're not scared. This is what I'm saying. Everything that happened with Trump over the last week is really putting an end to all that. See, they can't run around and really keep talking that. It was all good and dandy. It was real fun. A few days ago, a few weeks ago, it was real cool. Now folks is looking at that saying, no, we're not really standing on that. That's not really the game that we're going for. You can't say all that now because when Trump had that situation that occurred, it made all of that type of energy look like what we've been saying it was. Fear-mongering. Fear-mongering. She literally just said a whole horror movie to Black Americans, told us what we need to do and everything. Vote for your life. Are you kidding me? Real talk. This shows you exactly where they are with it, though. And we are not surprised. Never have been. Never have. This is what they do, family. This is what they'll do to try to get foundational Black Americans afraid. That's that vote blue no matter who talk. That's that vote blue no matter who. But that's some vote blue no matter who or your life's over type stuff. They went way off the deep end with it. Way off the deep end. But I'm telling you right now, the dominant society, they're not going for it. Oh, no. They've been coming after her. Yeah, I'm telling you. They know what it is. The dominant society knows exactly what's going on. The dominant society sees right now that she's out here running her mouth and she was talking all that. They know what she was saying. They know exactly that she was running all that game. Yeah, they do. Yeah. Okay, check this out. Check this out right here, y'all. Watch how I just showed you the Karen and Ken way over there in Australia. Oh, they right here in America too. Watch this guy. He's responding to her last night. Remember, she went on the Republican convention last night. A lot of people was watching for Joy Reid. They wanted to see what she was going to say because they knew her rhetoric. They knew her statements, and everybody was blaming her. Watch this guy right here. He does the same thing. The blowback is coming, y'all. The tools getting broken is coming. We're going to show just the beginning of how it starts. Watch this man right here.
Gaslighting at its finest. Joy Reid had a meltdown on national TV today, saying basically we shouldn't allow Trump to call himself a victim for having an attempted assassination on him. And instead, let's remind everyone what he's done for the past 5 or 6 years, which is greatness, but I guess not to her.
And people are concerned and expressing.
This was her last night, y'all. Everybody wanted to see what she was going to say. I want y'all to notice she literally stays on the Trump is the boogeyman. I'm telling you, they don't learn. They get butter, biscuit, bold. She literally goes out there and she says, well, we need to still say that Trump is the boogeyman. She can't get off the boogeyman stuff. I'm telling you, shills don't know no better. They got one thing to do, all right? And that's going to make them all crash out like they are, out of business, over with. Everybody was watching last night to see what she was going to say. All the W's are trying to play peaceful. All of the liberals are playing peaceful. Joy Reid literally got on TV last night and said, basically, we still need to blame Trump. And it did not go over well. And they was ripping her on social media. And it's all coming down. Oh, yeah, I'm telling you, they're going to make it look like it was her who did it. Watch this right here. Watch what she says.
Concerned and expressing concern that we won't be the guardians of memory. And that we will allow Donald Trump, as he is, bathed in the glory and grandeur of his party, to rewrite himself as both a hero and a victim, that people who are the most vulnerable to not just the things he's done, but the things he's promising to do, and that will then happen without a guardian saying, wait.
Gaslighting at its...
Oh, no. No, let's go there. Let me tell you how that all played out, family. I'm going to tell you how that played out right there. So she gets there last night, and she basically said right there, she's not going to stop with the boogeyman talk, and we need to continue to blame Trump. All of the Karens on the panel right there, they were just sitting there going, oh, okay, yep. And watch how they throw her under the bus. Let me show y'all the rest of that, all right? This is when Joyless was talking. I'm going to show y'all. Watch how Rachel Maddow, who, by the way, Rachel Maddow was one of the main people saying the same stuff about Donald Trump. Like I said, They know when to get on code. Rachel Maddow and all them Karens was going to let her talk, and then they said, we going to get you. I want to bring this up. It's the same exact thing with the Me Too movement, all right? They go get all of these black folks to join these movements with them, and there's a different set of rules. They'll let a black woman come into the Me Too movement, but what's the unwritten rule? That is that a black woman in the Me Too movement can only go after black men. A Karen can go after all men. Notice, whenever a black person is in the movement, they say, well, black man did it. A black man did that. All right. They specifically make sure that they know you're talking about your man only, because a black woman can never go after a white man in the Me Too movement. That's not allowed. Karen won't allow that. No. So they'll say black man, black man, black man. Whenever Karen talks, she says all men, because she's not going to say her man specifically, because they all get on code. Same way how a liberal and a conservative, they'll sit there all day long and throw jabs at each other. And whenever someone like Joyless Reid starts talking that talk, it's all good. But whenever they start speaking, they'll say all of us. The dominant society lets you be specific with your community. When they're speaking about their community, then they get vague and very collective. That's a slick way of not throwing themselves under the damn bus. They know when to say everybody, and then they know when to say just you. Watch after she says all that, family. Soon as that happens, all the Karens start saying, well, we can't say Trump's not the victim, though. Watch this, y'all. Here we go. By the way, before we bring that all the way up, let me make this clear. Fair use, fair use, fair use, YouTube. This is research, reporting, teaching, and scholarship. Fair use and acted. Yes. Here we go. Watch how they G-check her. And they basically pull a Me Too movement. This right here is the Democrat Me Too movement. And they let Joyless Reid know, you cannot say that. We are going to put you under the bus.
History. As we are now a couple of days out from that, do you feel like the conversation around that is getting more responsible, less responsible?
Action that I'm getting, whether it's civilians or professionals, is really a deep out a guardian saying, wait, stop. And then the media will acquiesce to this rewrite. And the people that I've been talking to don't accept the rewrite. They still remember that this person said, get him out, I'll pay your legal fees. They still remember that Republicans like Marjorie Taylor Greene did ads where they had long guns and were firing at pictures of Nancy Pelosi and have.
She's sitting there throwing Trump under the bus. You're not supposed to be doing that right now. They are on a sympathy tour. They're trying to take the high road. Look at the W women right here. Look at Karen number 1. Look at Karen number 2. Look at Karen number 3. Look at this guy. Look at him. Look at this guy right here. He couldn't look more disinterested. He's really mad. He's sitting there saying, I know she is not talking bad about Trump right now. We need to be out here making it look like all is well in peace. Remember, Joe Biden, the president, he got on TV and started taking the high road. Joe Biden actually took down ads. He had ads that were going against Trump, and he literally pulled them off TV. The Democrats were trying to clean this up. Joyless Reid is doing exactly what they do. She continues to start saying, I thought we were doing the boogeyman. I don't know how to not do the boogeyman. That's what I do to black folks all day. All I do is tell black folks how to be so scared. Don't y'all still want me to do that, massa? Watch this right here, family. Everybody is about to check her.
Been promoting the idea that the Democrats, the left, the liberals, it'll be peaceful, said the Heritage Foundation leader, if the left allows it. People haven't forgotten those threats, and they don't want us to forget them either.
And at the same time,
here we go. Now get real fun, family. Watch what she just said. She's talking about the liberal. Remember, they only do liberal conservative with each other in their own W community. They only do Democrat and Republican in their own community. For you just black. That's all they see with you.
Republicans like Marjorie Taylor Greene did ads where they had long guns and were firing at. Forgotten those threats, and they don't want us to forget them either.
And at the same time, Donald Trump, I mean, for all the using the idea of victimization as a political trope, he is legitimately the victim of this attack.
Oh, look how she came in and said, yeah. But he's still the victim. And watch the way she looks at her. She gives her that very scolding look, like a teacher.
Long guns and were firing at pictures of Nancy Pelosi and have been promoting the idea that the Democrats, the left, the liberals, it'll be peaceful, said the Heritage Foundation leader, if the left allows it. People haven't forgotten those threats,
and they don't want us to forget them either.
And at the same time, Donald Trump, I mean, for all the using the idea of victimization as a political trope, he is legitimately the victim of this attempt. And
damn. Came back and undercut all that. Now Joyless is about to get her Karen spanking. Watch this.
I was, looking back at history, looking at previous political violence in our country and all of the presidential.
No. No, look, hey, picture says 1,000 words, y'all. Picture says 1,000 words. Look at these two freeze frames right here. Look at Joyless. Look at her. Look at her. It ain't going the way she wanted it to go. Look at her face, y'all. Look how she's responding to that. She's looking like, damn. Okay, all right. Yep, damn. All right, that's what you're telling me? Okay, all right, I understand. By the way, fair use, YouTube. This is reading, reporting, teaching, and scholarship. Fair use. Look how Rachel Maddow corrected her. And look at that look right there. That's not a look of, you agree with me. That's a look of, I just sat here for 3 minutes and kept throwing Trump under the bus. Now you throwing me under the bus.
Well, Trump, I mean, for all the using the idea of victimization as a political trope, he is legitimately the victim of this.
Damn, look at that. Look at that. Look at that look. Look at that, family. A picture says 1,000 words. She is getting G-checked. She thought that all those Karens was going to say, okay, you're right. They said, no, at the end of the day, we are all W's. It don't matter about our political affiliation. It don't matter about our religion. It doesn't matter what continent, because we just see some folks from Australia going on Joyless Reid. Look at this further.
Attempt. And I was, looking back at history, looking at previous political violence.
Look at that look. Look at that look. Head down. Body language, y'all. Body language. The head was just up a minute. Now it's going down. She's putting that chin down a little bit. This is when you're getting scolded. This is when you're getting a straightening. She's getting a Karen straightening right now. That you're not to talk about our men. You're not to talk about our women. You're supposed to just take orders. Right now, your orders are to stand down. You go tell that stuff to black people. You do not tell that to us. Get it right.
In our country, and all of the presidential candidates and indeed presidents who have been shot at. And, we've had 4 presidents assassinated. We've had an incredible history of political violence in this country. But one thing that's true over time, when you look back at that whole string, going all the way back to the 1800s, is that the motive of the person committing the violence is never relevant. Very true.
There you go.
The act of violence, it's...
Look at, now notice, we just showed her a minute ago. This lady did not nod her head one damn time when Joyless Reid was talking. When Joyless was talking, that lady did not nod her head. She looked like she was about to fall asleep. Soon as Rachel Maddow, her W sister, starts talking, watch her start nodding her head.
Is that the motive of the person committing the violence is never relevant. Very true. The act of violence.
There you go. Yep. She's like, you tell her, sister. Look at the difference. She's nodding her head. Joyless is right there, head to the side, kind of smirking. She knows she's getting that straightening.
Violence itself ends politics, turns it over into crime, and makes the views and the motivations of the shooter irrelevant. Everybody in politics, no matter where you are ideologically, must unite around the idea that violence is unacceptable.
Absolutely.
Look at that. Look at that. Listen to what she's saying. Everybody in politics must unite. She's giving her a whole everything is all good. We need to be together. Listen to what she's telling her right there, family. She's clearly telling her off top, we're not doing all that talk. All that stuff that you were just saying, all that stuff you were just speaking about the boogeyman. No. She just literally undercut her. She undid everything that Joyless was doing. And Joyless is sitting there saying, absolutely, you're right. Sure, cool. Cutting her eyes. Yep, you said that in the chat. I see you. Yes, indeed. Cutting her eyes, smacking her lips, head to the side, tilted. Why did Rachel Maddow come immediately after and say the complete, utter opposite of what Joyless said? Because Joyless is a shill who's supposed to do that to us, not to their community. Checkmate. Watch that right there, family. One more time. Let me run that back slightly, ever so slightly. As we sit here and we break down, we chopping up good game tonight, y'all. We got 1.1, 1.2 people up in here tonight, man. Much love, respect, y'all. Love y'all with a passion.
Views and the motivations of the shooter, irrelevant. Everybody in politics, no matter where you are ideologically, must unite around the idea that violence is unacceptable.
Absolutely.
And it's unacceptable.
She said, absolutely. She said, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. We're doing the can't we all get along talk.
Well, both when it comes to targeted stuff like this, but it's also unacceptable when you try to incite that as a way of getting things that you want that you can't get through political means.
Oh, listen to what she said. She's talking to Joyless. Oh, look at that face. Look at her face right there, y'all. Look at that. Oh, we were just talking about her cutting her eyes. Hell yeah, she cutting her eyes. Look at that. Oh, she's getting a scolding. She's getting a straightening. She getting called out on national TV. Look at her face right there. Please screenshot that for me, somebody. Y'all know how we do on the Black Alpha Network. If we put up a picture, we make sure we screenshot it before they try to scrub this straightening off the internet, family. Please send that to me. Instagram, Black Alpha Net W1. Twitter, Black Alpha Net W1. Same thing. Check it out. Look at that right there. And notice how Rachel Maddow was talking with her hands, too. Look at, damn, that says 1,000 words. I didn't even catch that the first go around. Look how she's talking with her hands.
Both when it comes to targeted stuff like this, but it's also unacceptable when you try to incite that as a way of getting things that you want that you can't get.
See how she's saying, well, it's also wrong that you sit there and you try to talk that way. What she's basically saying is that this is what you're doing. She's kind of doing a dog whistle. She's basically saying, this is what you're doing, Joy. You're trying to get something that you want. She's basically putting everything that the alleged assailant on the roof, she's basically saying what he was doing on the roof, you're doing that. You're doing what the assailant is doing, Joy Reid. You're wrong. That's why she's doing this. She's doing all that talking. She's doing this with her hand. Joy Reid sitting there going like this because Joy Reid ain't going to talk back. Joy Reid will do all this stuff to black folks. That's number one. They'll talk like that to black folks. They won't get bucked with them. No, she won't get bucked with Rachel Maddow. None of them Karens. Joyless is taking that straightening straight up like a SHILL supposed to. She's sitting there just going, okay, yep, absolutely. And Rachel Maddow's doing this. And notice Rachel Maddow's making eye contact. She's not looking at the other women because she's making it clear. I'm not talking to all my brethren. I'm talking to you, Joyless. I'm talking to you. You follow the rules. You do democratic SHILL behavior, and then you get out of our way. I am the Karen of the household, and you are just the guest. And as a guest, your only job is to fool black Americans with all that tough talk. Right now is not the time for tough talk because we're trying to clean up our image. Joe Biden just got on television last night and talked about we need to bring peace to the table, and you here still trying to run with boogeyman stuff. You are canceled, you Democratic SHILL. That's what they doing, y'all. That's what they doing. This is a hell of a roll. Yes, indeed. Everybody make sure you smash that like button. We got 1.2 up in here. Subscribe to the Black Alpha Network, man. If you're in here, hit that subscribe. We do it all as a family, man, and it takes all of us. Let's go. Look at that look right there.
Through political means. So it's true in terms of violent rhetoric. It's true in violence orientation toward the idea of confrontation with your fellow Americans. And of course, it's true in the case of some sort of insane event like we saw on Saturday in Pennsylvania. And I just feel like it's a very, obviously we're all very grateful that President Trump was not more seriously hurt. We are all absolutely shattered by the fact that somebody was killed. Two people were put in the hospital very seriously hurt. But I am hoping that the one positive thing that can come out of this is some sobriety around the idea of violence in politics being no freaking joke. And
boom, look what she said. No freaking joke. She talking to her crazy. She talking to her reckless. She said, I want it to be this way. She letting Joyless know off top. You getting a little too close to that limit. That limit is getting way too close, and you need to fall all the way back, Joyless. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it tangled. Don't get it messed up. In the house of supremacy, there's only room for one adult woman, and it is Rachel Maddow on that panel. And the person who is not the adult in the building is Joyless. That right there, family, was the G-check of G-checks all the way. All we do is put receipts on the table. The whole black grassroots, all of us, all 1.2 of y'all. How long have we all been saying this, family? There's nothing that we say that doesn't happen. Literally, family, we batting 100. We 10 for 10. All right, we calling it. Nothing but net. Boom. Straight shots. That's what we doing. We told everybody that it's hard out here for a tether. It's hard out here for a SHILL. It's hard out here for an op. And it's hard out here for an op. And you've seen it right now. And apparently, Rachel Maddow is doing the G-checking as well. So what really do we got to say when she getting G-checked like that other than it's hard out here for a SHILL when you cannot tap dance to pay the bills, when your last little butter biscuit crumbs are getting spilled? Don't be mad, Joyless. We only being real. Checkmate. Damn, it feel good. Certified. Family, this is what it is. And we watching it in real time. Everything that we've been saying has been playing out, has been playing out, right? Everything that we've been saying was going to go down has been going down. And it's going down absolutely the way we predicted it. And that's the most beautiful thing about it. That's the most beautiful thing. As we call things out and we predict things, we sit back and we make the strategic moves. This is the beauty of being on code, y'all. See, since we're on code right now in this generation, we can forecast and predict things that are going to happen afterwards. We knew what was going to go down. We knew absolutely that these folks would be at the table getting scolded. We knew absolutely these folks would be getting G-checked. Ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing to figure out. It's just what it is. There's only one outcome when you deal with these people. And that outcome is exactly what we said it was going to be. And it's exactly what we just witnessed. And what we just witnessed right there, family, was a hell of a straightment. And it was funny as hell. And we laughing all the way there, family. And we're going to continue. But as we continue, we got another SHILL alert. Okay, another SHILL alert. Okay, yeah. Well, let's find out what this absolute SHILL alert is, because folks been out here shilling left and right, and we got to find out. So when you put up the SHILL alert, it could be anybody. And I got to ask the family right now, when you deal with shills, family, and you deal with broken tools and you find them, what's the main thing you do? I'll just go ahead and say the answer, okay? We know when the dominant society is done with their tools, they break them. But when you find a broken tool, you leave them exactly where you seen them. And Joyless Reid, she's going to be left right there at that goddamn panel. And Foundational Black Americans, we'll catch her later on the flip side. That part. But when you start talking about people shilling out here in these streets, the shilling been extra. The shilling been super extra, family. And we've been watching it all occur. There have been people out here turning them up. And we see them right there live in color. D.L. Hughley. D.L. Hughley is the same thing that Joyless Reid been on. D.L. Hughley, he been running out here with the cape on. He got the extra cape. He got the XXL cape on. He been running all types of shilling. He thinks that he's going to do the same thing Joyless was doing. Joyless been running around here talking that talk. So is DL. And DL's tweets been crazy. DL been out here, family, running his mouth extra, talking crazy, putting out statements, and he thinks it's all going to be good. Let me tell you something. DL, just go ahead. I'm letting you know the future. You are going to get absolutely positively canceled from the dominant society. If they're not going for that with Joyless, they're not going for that with Down Low Hughley. Down Low Hughley has been running his mouth, and he doesn't know that he's going to see the same exact fate that they all do. And that is that democratic dominant society tool breaking.
President Biden has had the legislative agenda that would rival FDR. And so I think that while people have the right to voice their opinion, they should be rooted in some level of sanity. If you look at where, for instance, George W. Bush and John Kerry were at this time in their race in June and July of that year, Kerry was 7 points ahead of him. If you look at where Barack Obama and Mitt Romney were in their race, October 16th, 2.5 weeks before that election, Romney was 4 points ahead of Obama. So, and the thing that those two people have in common is the power of the incumbents. You have openly people advocating for a president to give up the power of the bully pulpit and the incumbency months before a presidential election, which is ridiculous. Historically, no president has ever gave up incumbency. No party has ever given up the incumbency of the president. And President Biden has had the legislative agenda that would rival FDR. And so I think that while people have the right to voice their opinion, they should be rooted in some level of sanity. If you look at where, for instance, George W. Bush and John Kerry were at this time in their race in June and July of that year, Kerry was 7 points ahead of him. If you look at where Barack Obama and Mitt Romney were in their race, October 16th, 2.5 weeks before that election, Romney was 4 points ahead of Obama. So, and the thing that those two people have in common is the power of the incumbency. You have openly people advocating for a president to give up the power of the bully pulpit and the incumbency months before a presidential election, which is ridiculous. Historically, no president has ever gave up incumbency. No party has ever given up the incumbency of the president. And
okay, let me tell you about DL Down Low. All right, he been out here in these streets spazzing out, y'all. Oh, he mad. He's one of those I can't let go of Joe. You're starting to see that faction pop up now in the Democratic plantation. You're starting to see these I can't let go of Joe. I'm not letting Joe go. All right. DL been running around here, family, going in on every single person that feels that Joe Biden needs to step down. Yep. And it's been coming from the top levels of the Democratic establishment. DL Hughley right now is getting involved in massa on massa crime. All right. There's massa over here. There's massa over here. DL is nowhere in the picture, but doing the same thing that they always do. They want to get involved. And y'all notice this? Y'all notice how angry, how emotional they get whenever something revolves around Zaddy? They don't ever get this angry or emotional when it comes to reparations, or when it comes to tangibles, or when it comes to an anti-foundational Black American hate crime protection, anything that has something to do with empowering us, they're very soft, they're very soft-spoken, very calm. You say something about Joe, then it's no, wait, hold on, wait a minute. Joyless Reid get bucked talking about Project 25 is coming to take all the freedoms away from every human being on the planet. They got an extra sense of motivation and anger when you start talking about that. So when we say that these are some zaddy lovers, when we say these are butter biscuit chasers, then all you got to do is look, and they're proving it and confirming it by the way they talk. He went in the other day on George Clooney, because George Clooney came out and said, listen, Joe Biden, you either drop out the race or I'm taking my money away. And don't let nobody tell you any different, family. Politics is about money from donors, and it's about votes. The money from the donors typically buys the votes. So when FBA says we're going to take our vote and sit on the couch, that's one element that's missing. Joe's in trouble. And then when George Clooney says, I'm going to take my donor money and I'm going to put it back in the bank, that's the other element that's missing. Joe's in trouble. And Joyless Reid sees this. Down low Hughley sees this. Holland, the whole Democratic establishment sees it. We said right here on the Black Alpha Network 2 years ago that if we played our cards right and we got on code, we would have the Democrats against the ropes, family. They not just against the ropes. They out the damn ring right now. And that's before the situation that happened to Trump. Remember, y'all, the last 2 months, we've been talking about Joe Biden being too old and how he needs to get out the damn election. The Donald Trump situation that just occurred, that attempt on him, that only took where the Democrats were and put them further down. They were losing before that all summer. You go back January, February, March, April, it was there. You go to May, June, and July, it was people saying Biden step down. You got Democrats from all across the country saying Biden step down. You had 18 Democrats put out a joint statement. I'm hearing Barack Obama's on the phone. Nancy Pelosi backstage, I heard, is trying to get a coup. There's a civil war going on in the Democratic Party. Kamala Harris tried to step up and say, well, let me come in. They said, we don't want you neither. They said, we don't even want the vice president. Damn, that's bad. But I mean, when your polling numbers are in the trash like Kamala, that's what you get. So Kamala tried to step up. They said no. They said, you better get Joe Biden out of here. I'm taking my $90 million and going home. Gavin Newsom said, I don't know what to do right now. All of that was happening for the last 2 months. Joe Biden got on stage and had the worst debate performance ever. And then, out of nowhere, somebody had an attempt on Donald Trump. Donald Trump ate it, got up, and pumped his fist in the air. And all the polling numbers went all the way to the Republicans. The Democrats are in deep, deep, deep trouble. All of that before foundational Black Americans, their number one voter bloc, said, oh, and by the way, we're going to sit on the couch any goddamn way. Vote couch no matter who. So that's vote couch, Donald Trump attempt, Joe Biden, 4,077 years old, and nobody wants Kamala. Oh, D.L. Hughley was real goddamn mad. And we're going to show y'all exactly the type of time, energy that he was on. Look at this. D.L., he went on TMZ, y'all, and he spazzed all the way out. And he was trying to go off on George Clooney, and he was trying to say, George, how dare you? Don't do this to me. That's my master, and I cannot let Joe go. But he found out the same way that Joyless Reid found out. George Clooney is a part of the dominant society the same way Rachel Maddow is. And DL and Joyless, you guys are just there to be there.
You know what? Here's what I'll say to you. I'm bored with all of this hand wringing. What it is the fight we have. If he stays, then I got to find a way, and people got to find a way to win. If he doesn't, we still got to find a way to win. Stop having this argument with me. I'm not talking about you in general. With the people, if the worst that can happen is that Kamala Harris takes over. The worst that can happen. The worst. You don't have to give him the power and incumbency and this. And if you're going to have a conversation about how old he is, have a conversation about how old they want to take this country back to. Never once have I heard this conversation in any substantive matter for anybody. And my people.
What did this man just say? If we want to talk about how old Joe Biden is, we need to have a conversation about how old they want to take the country back to. Does that make any sense? Oh, by the way, notice Roland Martin's been running around here saying people don't want Kamala because Kamala's black, and she's not. But that's the excuse that Roland's going with. D.L. Hughley said he just don't want Kamala. Notice amongst all that babble, he said he don't want Kamala neither. So he's a part of the anybody but Kamala camp.
If he doesn't, we still got to find a way to win. Stop having this argument with me. I'm not talking about you in general. With the people, if the worst that can happen is that Kamala Harris takes over. The worst that can happen. The worst. You don't have.
Damn, he said that's the worst thing. He didn't just say we don't want it. He said that's the worst thing.
Give him the power of incumbency and this. And if you're going to have a conversation about how old he is, have a conversation about how old they want to take this country back to. Never once have I heard this conversation in any substantive matter for anybody. And my people and communities of colors, everything's at stake for us. And
there go the communities of color. You knew it was coming. He said, my people and communities of color. I'm telling them, they can't just talk about us specifically. They got to throw somebody else in there. He's mad and he still found a way to say, my people and people of color now.
Right. And my people and communities of colors, everything's at stake for us. And to have these conversations about George Clooney, yeah, he's not the man he was in Ocean's 11. What are you talking about? I mean, this is crazy to me. I'm so tired of cowardly people who just don't understand, who just don't get it. And if they do get it, name me a time when somebody gave up the incumbency and won. If you can vote for a convicted felon, I can vote for a cadaver. If you can vote for a convicted felon, I can vote for the crypt keeper. I'm voting because there are things that are so concerning that I can't let this happen. And watch these. It is so cowardly. It's ridiculous.
Boom, 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 boom. Oh, he mad. Oh, he mad, y'all. Woo! Oh, somebody done pissed down low off. Down low said he ain't gonna be down low. He gonna be up high. All right, but wherever he at, he can't get off of Joe's back. That's just what it is, y'all. Oh man, that was bad news. Bad news. Nasty work. Nasty work. So what you see him right there, y'all, he's going completely all out because he cannot even accept by no means the fact that he doesn't have Joe. All right. He is all in on Joe. That's what it is. He wants Joe all day. That's basically vote Joe no matter who. That's all that is. That is vote Joe no matter who. He's saying that he's making it clear. This is why we say, y'all, you cannot by no means separate these different people. Okay. They are going to go however their party tells them to go. That is just what it is. They are going to ride the Joe train. Every one of them has their own massa. And Massa is telling them which way to go and how to do it. And that's just how it goes. But the whole situation that occurred, everything upside down and inside out, all the way. You literally see him there. Did you see any of that energy, family, at all when he starts talking about reparations or anything of that sort? He starts talking about reparations. I seen him because remember, D.L. Hughley did the same exact interview that Steve Harvey did. When Steve Harvey was on the whole interview with Kamala, D.L. Hughley's got the same one. The same one. Yeah. They got the same one. They're walking, and he's literally sitting there having a conversation, and he's basically giving her a bunch of softball questions. He knows what it is. He knows better. He knows absolutely on the inside it's going to go bad. And what happens when they don't get their master? They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. Let me tell y'all what ended up messing up everything. I'm going to tell you why they mad. All right, I'm going to tell you why they mad. Let me show you why they mad. I'm going to show you why they mad. This right here messed up every damn thing, family. Did y'all see it last night? Tell me y'all saw it last night. Tell me y'all seen it last night. Tell me you seen it. Tell me you seen it, y'all. This right here messed up every damn thing for them. They couldn't handle it. They couldn't take it. And Donald Trump, he's out here being real clever. Look at that. Trump out there. This man showing up with a patch. This man, he's kind of like looking like he's about to cry, showing emotion. Oh, the dominant society eating that up. Oh, the dominant society's eating that up, family. Oh, the Democrats can't come back from this. Democrats are in deep, deep trouble. Deep trouble. We literally showing Joe Biden, and Joe Biden can't even walk slow. This man had an attempt. He's pumping his fist again. Hold up. He's pumping his fist again, y'all. Look at that right there. Look at that right there. Oh, the Democrats can't handle this. No, that's too much to come back from. This is why D.L. Hughley's mad. This is why Joyless is mad. This is the energy that they on, family. I'm telling you. This got them all against the ropes. They are absolutely broke down. And Trump is politicking. Trump is politicking this. Trump knows what he's doing. Trump is coming out here changing his rhetoric. He's talking about we need to be good. We need to do this. Trust me, when Trump gets back in the office, he's going to go back to all of the typical Trump things. He's going to be saying all types of wild stuff about people. All right? As long as he build that wall, I'm cool with it. Say what you say, build that wall, and I'll be all right. But that's a whole nother issue for a whole nother day. As he goes out there right there, family, and he's showing up, the Democrats cannot handle it. The man came out with the patch. You mean to tell me that the man, an ex-president, got hit on Saturday, shows back up on Monday at the convention? This usually wouldn't even happen. He shows back up, and then he starts pumping his fist, which was the last thing you seen. Oh, D.L. Hughley and all of them is mad. I expect more money to be withdrawn from Joe Biden. The calls for Joe Biden to step down are going to get bigger. Right now, we're going to see this right here, and everybody's going to be like, okay, it's kind of like talking about, the situation that happened over the weekend. That's kind of what everybody's focused on. I'm telling you right now, family, soon as we get back to the debates, soon as we get back to regular politics, and Joe Biden goes out there and he has another terrible debate and he coughs 6, 7, 8 times, you're going to see the calls for him to step down get even worse. Because now people are going to be saying things like, you lost a debate to a guy who literally got hit the other day on stage. Trump got hit on stage, pew-pewed, and bounced back, and you can't beat him? You can't beat the guy who took that? Oh, no, Joe got to go. Joe got to go. And they know this. The calls for Joe to step down are going to get even bigger. They're going to get even bigger, y'all. I'm telling you right now. Donald Trump, let's be real, is going to eventually, after all of this starts to come down, Donald Trump is going to get on that debate stage. Joe Biden is still going to be his old 677-year-old self, and he's going to make another mockery and lose that next debate. Okay, it doesn't matter what happened to Trump. That's not going to make Joe Biden any younger, all right? What happened to Donald Trump on Saturday is not going to make Joe Biden a younger man. It's not going to give him the ability to talk and articulate any better. So him stepping down is going to get even more increased. The money and the donors that have withdrawn from him are going to withdraw even further. How do you know this? Because they were withdrawing before that. Now imagine when Trump takes what he just took, comes back, and then still mops the floor in the debate. Oh, Joe is going to have to step down, and he's going to get real upset. He's going to get real mad. I'm talking about down low. Down low. Let's bring it on back down low. So he's been making all these tweets. I showed it on the last episode. He was saying all these reckless things like, this man is still bad, this man is still bad, all these things. But let me show y'all why he can't let Joe go. Let me show y'all why he has this infatuation with Zaddy. Let me show y'all some of the things I examined where DL, it's not just about him liking Joe Biden as a candidate. It runs a little deeper than that. So you got to understand, up here, it runs a lot deeper when you start talking about Democratic shills, all right? It's more that, what meets the eye. They have an affection going back to some type of thing in their childhood for Zaddy. And I'm going to show you exactly why D.L. Hughley, when the whole damn world says, step down, Joe, when the whole damn world says, okay, we understand what happened with Donald Trump, he still don't care, why everybody else, all the other black Democrats want to have Kamala, why DL can't let go of the W man. Stay tuned and watch this right here, y'all. This is what I'm talking about. Black Alpha Receipt, Black Alpha Receipt, Black Alpha Receipt in the building. This shows you why that affection runs way deeper than voting. Why he cannot let go of Master Joe. Why when everybody else has another candidate, he can't leave him. I'm going to tell you why that is right here. One thing, I want all y'all to look at the thumbnail. You see Vanessa Jones, you see Roland Martin, and you see D.L. Hughley. I want y'all to notice something that all three of these guys have done. And they did it all on national TV. I want y'all to see the denominator and what they all have in common. And when you find out what they have in common, you're going to see when you start talking about supremacy, their tears start to flow.
How come he affects you so much? I mean, you joined a gang. You were not, you dropped out. You ended up getting your GED.
Yeah.
Why is what he's saying upsetting you so much?
Because I was this close to never making it.
He saved
never
you?
been nothing. So when I see people,
He going to cry in the car, y'all. Look at that right there. Look at that. Right there, family. You ever seen that look when it came to reparations? You ever seen that look when it comes to tangibles, when it comes to benefits and resources for our community? You ever seen any of that when he starts talking about us? Or do you only see that when he's talking to that W next to him, the same way he was talking about Master Joe and how he can't let him go? Van Jones, Roland Martin, D.L. Hughley, all three of the guys on this thumbnail all share this in common.
When I see people who don't believe they can do it, just one person can say one thing that nobody believed in me, ever. And to have a dude say, you can be what you want. I remember we had a fair, and I wanted to win my mother an apple. I won the apple, and I got it to my mother. And she bit the apple. She said, this apple's rotten, just like you are. And I laughed, and I told him that story. He said, you're not rotten. You're going to be something. And I'll never forget that. And I hope he's as proud of me as I am.
Nope. Run it back.
One thing that nobody believed in me, ever.
Never. No one believed in me, ever. I don't want Joe Biden to step down, ever. I don't want Joe Biden to leave, ever. I'll never leave the Democratic plantation, ever.
One thing that nobody believed in me, ever. And to have a dude say, you can be what you want. I remember we had a fair, and I wanted to win my mother an apple. I won the apple, and I got it to my mother. And she bit the apple. She said, this apple's rotten, just like you are. And I laughed, and I told him that story.
Family, look how that W woman sitting there coaching that on. How many times you seen these big grown black men crying, and the W woman, who's the anchor, is sitting there saying, tell me more. Why was it so bad in your household? Is your household that bad? Did your mommy not love you? Did your mommy give you the apple that you gave her and throw it back to you? Did you run over there to Douglas? Did Douglas provide a better fatherhood for you than your father? Because I know your daddy's not home. And then he sat there and said, I just hope he loved me forever. He loved me more. Love me more, master.
He said, you're not right. You're going to be something. And I'll never forget that.
Look at that right there. Did that not look like the same exact energy when he was upset talking about Master Joe don't go? I'm telling you, family, it's way deeper than these folks. They just like their politician. All of that caping and all that capping, you cannot replace for the affection and emotion that they have for the plantation in which they reside. It is an emotional thing. You cannot like a candidate that damn much, family, that you're willing to throw all 50 million black Americans on the bus. It comes from a place of emotion, a serious place of emotion. SHILL alert, SHILL alert, SHILL alert. And when you start talking about folks crying and folks getting upset and folks out here saying, I just don't understand why, it's a consistent pattern you see with black Democrat men. You see more black Democrat men crying on television than you see W Democrat women. You don't believe me? Here we go. Here's the other guy in the thumbnail.
It's well, it's easier to be a parent this morning. It's easier to be a dad. It's easier to tell your kids character matters. It matters. Telling the truth matters. Being a good person matters. And it's easier for a whole lot of people. If you're Muslim in this country, you don't have to worry if the president doesn't want you here. If you're an immigrant, you don't have to worry if the president's going to be happy to have babies snatched away or send dreamers back for no reason. This is vindication for a lot of people who have really suffered. You know, I can't breathe. You know, that wasn't just George Floyd. That was a lot of people that felt that they couldn't breathe. Every day you're waking up and you're getting these tweets and you just don't know, and you're going to the store and people who have been afraid to show their racism are getting nastier and nastier to you, and you're worried about your kids and you're worried about your sister. And can she just...
Wait, sister? What the hell? What? What the hell? What? How random was that, y'all? First off, he said, family. He said, your sister. What? Like, how random was that? He's like, you go and you're worried about your kids, and then your third grade teacher, Miss Claremont, and you're worried about your mailman, and you're worried about the lady who works at the Winn-Dixie's. What? Hell no.
You know, I can't breathe. You know, that wasn't just George Floyd. That was a lot of people that felt that they couldn't breathe. Every day you're waking up and you're getting these tweets and you just don't know, and you're going to the store and people who have been afraid to show their racism are getting nastier and nastier to you, and you're worried about your kids, and you're worried about your sister. And can she just go to Walmart and get back into her car without somebody saying something to her? It's
And you know, it wouldn't be one without this right here. Y'all remember this right here, family? Yeah, the third guy on the thumbnail. All the men on the thumbnail all shared this in common. Y'all remember that right there? Yeah, when dude was breaking down. Yes, he was. I had to, I'm sorry. Look at that right there, y'all. Come on. This is what we talking about. I don't know if y'all remember, they was playing Trey Songz. How many more times in the back? That's what I'm wondering. How many more times y'all gonna be crying? Oh, Black Alpha can get real petty. Yeah. Of course. Absolutely. Look at that. This is when he was upset because people went out to go vote. He was like, y'all went out to go vote, and he was real upset. That touched his emotions, y'all. That touched his emotions. Not reparations, not a hate crime, not anything of that sort. No. They get upset and they start crying whenever voting or the Democratic Party is in play, because it shows you exactly what they are beholden to. That damn part. More. This is what we've been seeing out here, family. This is reality. So when we sit there and we see these folks and we see the way that they operate, the way they move, and the way they function, everything has something to do with the plantation that they serve. That is it. These folks be really out here dancing left and right. And they really deep down inside, family, think this is going to serve them well. They think they're going to go places. They think everything is lovely, dandy out here in these streets. No, it's not. And I want to tell y'all something from the other day. I don't know if y'all remember this. Y'all remember, because, you know, when we say people going to get broke, when we say the chicken's going to come home to roost, when we say it all's going to come back around full surface, it's all going to come back around full surface, family, all the time. Y'all remember a few weeks ago when that boxer, Ryan Garcia came out. Ryan Garcia was talking reckless about Black Americans. Yes, he was. He was saying all types of things. He was talking about George Floyd and everybody. Out of nowhere, though, after the whole Ryan Garcia situation popped up, out of nowhere, family, you started to see some real funny style behavior from some of these other folks. They start popping up. Because Black folks, we're the ones who got Ryan Garcia completely canceled from his little WBC, which is the head boxing. We're the ones who got him canceled from that. He thought he was going to be on that time with us. We turned that around. We said, no, he got canceled. But you know the way that's going to operate. Soon as you get this man canceled, soon as you put an end to all of that, next thing you know, there's going to be somebody that's going to come out and somebody going to put on some type of cape. Somebody going to be caping all the way, because this is just what they do, right? That's what they got to do. They don't know nothing else other than caping. So his brothers and sisters was calling out the whole situation with Ryan Garcia. Next thing you know, family, you seen Wiz Khalifa, the rapper. Yeah, Wiz Khalifa comes out, and what he do? He put on the biggest cape in the world for Ryan Garcia. Yes, the hell he did. After that, though, we knew something was going to come back around. Look what just happened over the weekend, y'all. Ain't it funny how Wiz Khalifa facing 10 years in prison after he's busted with pot in Romania? Yeah, that part. Remember when the whole Black community was going in on Ryan Garcia for all those racist comments he made about us, when he was talking about Black on Black crime, when he was running around here and he was talking reckless, absolutely reckless about George Floyd. The only person who came out and called him out was our sister Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields came out and she said, nah, we ain't going for that, Ryan. The very next day, Wiz Khalifa popped up, and Wiz Khalifa was saying, well, you know, I'm down with Ryan Garcia. Well, guess what? We sat here 3 weeks ago, and we said it was going to come back full circle on Wiz Khalifa. Wiz Khalifa was going to find out the hard way. The ancestors is watching. All eyes on us. Disrespect going to get checked, and we didn't even have to do it. What I say, family? We stand on business by sitting on the couch. Beautiful thing. Wiz Khalifa was out there in Romania thinking that it was all sweet. The same sweetness he had when he thought he was going to go hang out with Ryan Garcia after Ryan Garcia basically said, F your whole community. Next thing you know, family, Ryan Garcia is at home. Wiz Khalifa out there getting all types of foul treatment. Oh, family, they was. Oh, yeah. So I guess we're going to say it's hard out here for a shield with him then too, I guess. I guess we're going to go ahead and have to put Wiz in the shield category because you were shielding right there for Ryan Garcia. And here's my thing, family. If you out there doing all that tap dancing, all that moonwalking, all over the place, how come Ryan Garcia ain't came to your defense? I ain't seen not near tweet. I ain't seen not near post with Ryan Garcia coming out there and saying, hey, I got your back, Wiz. I'm going to hold you down. So basically, you got nothing in return but all of that that's going on. Facing 10 good years. Okay, easy work. Remember, this was Wiz Khalifa just a few weeks ago.
Monday. You be in Paris, Saudi, Romania.
Freeze. Listen to what he said. Family. Oh, I love being certified. We called it right here 2.5 weeks ago. We said that it was going to all come back on Mr. Wiz Khalifa. We said it was all going to pop off. Listen to what he said. He's sitting there telling Ryan Garcia where he's about to go. He said, I'm about to go to Saudi. I'm about to go here. He says, I'm about to go to Romania. So in the same exact, let me show y'all how this karma works. Let me show y'all how it go down when you cross FBA. Yeah, the ancestors, the energy, the frequency, the vibrations are powerful. Let me tell you how it go down. When you sit there and you hang out with an anti-black person, when you sit there kiki and ha-han with the person who said he wants to bring back George Floyd so he can harm him again, and while you're sitting there hanging out with him, you're telling him, I'm about to go to Romania. The same Romania that 2.5 weeks later, they done hemmed you up. So in the video where he out there tap dancing, he's telling you where he was about to go and get G-check. Damn, it's a beautiful thing. We didn't even have to go nowhere in the process. Watch him right there, family. He loving it. Okay. All right. Look at that. Look at that right there. Look at that. All right. Yeah. I got your back. I'm going to Romania. I'm fixing to go to Romania after I threw FBA and all black folks under the bus. I'm fixing to go to Romania, think things are sweet, and they about to put them things on me. Ha! That's how I go. This is what happens, family, when you out of pocket. This is what happens when you off code. Off code, it don't ever win. No. No, that's just not how it works. That's not how it works. Maybe with somebody else, but with foundational black Americans, that ain't how it works. You go off code with us, oh, it's going to come back full circle. And it done came back full circle on Mr. Wiz. All right, Mr. Wiz done got some real straightening. Damn, it feel like everybody getting straightenings, fam. Everybody's getting straightenings. We done sat there and we done seen Joyless Reid get a straightening. We done seen D.L. Hughley. We done seen where his first straightening came from. And now we seeing this right here. Wiz again. Let's go ahead and explain what really went down and why Wiz down bad right now.
Hey, yo, what's mobbing? It's your boy Kid Nook, man. I ain't gonna lie, dog. I need some answers, man. Y'all heard about Wiz Khalifa getting arrested overseas? You haven't? Well, let's get into it, man. Check this out.
Don't around me, bro. Don't around me. Don't get rid of that. I'm not going nowhere. I'm following you.
He actually made a statement. This is a statement that he put right here, which is basically saying that, you know, they took him in, they talked to him, but they let him go with a warning. All I can say is on this whole thing is we got to move smart, know the laws when you're going overseas, know how they operate, because this is a serious offense up to like 10 years overseas. And the last thing you want to be is to be like Brittany Griner stuck overseas. I can't fault Wiz because this is a serious offense up to like 10 years overseas. And the last thing you want to be is to be like Brittany Griner stuck overseas. I can't fault Wiz because doing that is Wiz. That is his whole persona. That's what he does. So I can't hold it against him. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. Also, hit that like button, man.
I'm going to tell you right now. I can't. That's all on you, homie. You're going to have to hold that one. H-O-Y-N. That part, Wiz. Go ahead. H-O-Y-N. You can have that. That ain't got nothing to do with foundational black Americans. That ain't got nothing to do with us at all. Enjoy all of that while you can, brother. All right, because we over here doing our thing. Maybe Ryan Garcia can help you out. Maybe that can happen. Yeah. You like Ryan Garcia so much, maybe he can go on and give you a helping hand. You might need it. All right. You're gonna get Brittany Griner. All right. Yeah. And Foundational Black Americans ain't coming. The capes ain't out here. The capes is gone. No, the capes done got thrown all the way away. Yeah, we done got rid of them. Yeah, the African American had a whole gang of them. We ain't got them on this side though, family. So deal with it. That's just exactly what it is. They was bringing them out too. Watch how they paraded them. Look at this, family. They didn't put them in the back. They didn't bring them through the back channels. No, you get arrested on stage here in America, they're going to have you in the back. A car going to come, they're going to get you. Watch the way they paraded him around. This right here was supremacy, making a mockery of him, making an example of him. Look at all them police. Look at all them police, family. Look how deep that police presence is right there. Oh, the police presence is heavy out there. They was parading him around. They was showing everybody, look, that's it right there. That's it right there. Yeah, let everybody see. Maybe Amber Rose can help him. Yeah, remember that was his thing. Yeah, there you go. That part. There you go. They was making it clear. Oh, they was making it clear, y'all. Oh, they was making it clear. And it's funny because while he over here right now, or while he over there, Amber Rose out here, they got her running around trying to put on the show, and Ryan Garcia over here. And Wiz is over there in Romania getting paraded. They made a whole thing for him. Yeah, good. That's how it is, family. We don't have no sympathy for these folks, all right? We're not out here, family, putting on no capes, like I said. The capes have never served our community. Never. Anytime somebody ever pulls out a cape, it turns out really, really bad. So therefore, family, like we say, we're not going for that. We're not playing them games. Everybody is going to have to sit back, be on your own time, do your own thing, because Foundational Black Americans, we're going to do our own thing. Whether they like it or not, that's just the way the game is going. And they've been out here running with our style. They've been out here trying to talk like us, walk like us, speak like us. They've been out here trying to do our thing, family. But they know damn well that Foundational Black Americans, we keeping it all the way real, all the way real. So the more they send out these people, the more they try to hustle us and con us, is the more we're getting on game. It's funny because we get more on game the more they get off code. You feel me? So they're sending out Joe Biden. Joe Biden was just out here the other day. You're absolutely right. I feel nothing. For Wiz. Nope. Good luck over there in Romania, man. Tell him I said what's up. Tell him it's fun over here. Tell him the weather's great this time of year in America. Weather's damn great. Here we go. Check this out right here, family. Now they're sending out Joe Biden to try to go ahead and try to do some talk, try to speak, try to run his mouth, trying to give all these type of things, family. Remember all that black jobs talk? They sent him out to Complex Magazine. Yeah, Complex Magazine. So they could ask him some questions. All the questions were really pathetic. But they start asking him about black jobs. And remember, Joe Biden said that we're going to have to start working with Hispanics. Y'all remember that? And remember when Joe Biden said that this country's doomed and it's because of us? And remember when Joe Biden said that they are the future of America? And remember when Joe Biden said illegals built America? Now Joe Biden is out here saying that these people are not taking our jobs. He is still stuck on bringing all those illegals over. This right here is an indication of if he got elected again for the next 4 years. Fair use, fair use, fair use. This is about criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, YouTube, fair use. Watch Joe talk about how he sees the future.
Immigration is what many.
And what he says and who he says ain't taking our jobs.
Immigration is what many consider a big issue in America right now. During the debate, former President Trump said that immigrants are coming into our country and taking black jobs. In your opinion, what is a black job?
A black job is the same as a white job, the same as any other job. But he, you know what he means by black job.
What does
he
mean?
Means menial labor. That's what he thinks. You know, he thinks he's going to sell golden shoes or sneakers, and that's somehow. Look, the idea that there'd be support for him, talking about how they're coming taking black jobs. Talking about how they're coming taking black jobs. Look, this country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population. Y'all do. Sneakers, and that's somehow. Look, the idea that there'd be support for him and talking about how they're coming taking black jobs. Talking about how they're coming taking black jobs. Look, this country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population. Y'all do.
Freeze. Now, we done already put that all down. Look at that right there, family. You can read article after article time and time again. Open border policies disproportionately hurt Black Americans. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows it. So when he sits there and says something along the lines of, oh, it's not really them, they're not really taking your jobs, please. And this is who they trying to get us to cape for? This is who Joyless Reid is really trying to put it all on the line for? This is who they really trying to crash out for? And then they wonder why foundational Black Americans are going in the other direction. And then they wonder why foundational Black Americans ain't standing on that type of time. We moving completely different over here on this side. I'm sorry, it just ain't gonna happen. If they think really, fam, that we're gonna get on board with that, they crazy. Ain't no way at all. You see right there, we've all known it. We've all known it for the longest. Remember, fam, this is the first time in American history where the whole political landscape is literally structured by talking points that come from the Black grassroots. Every single talking point that you see on national television is some type of bootleg version of what we've been saying. The very fact that they're having a conversation about Black jobs and immigration, they wouldn't have been saying that if the Democratic Shills had their way. If the Democratic Shills had their way, they'd be dancing all around that. Nobody would be talking about it. So you see clearly they're following what we say and what we do. When we come out here and we make it clear that foundational Black Americans are not for open immigration like they tell us that we need to be, when we come out here and we make that crystal clear, eventually it's going to get all the way up to the White House, and eventually they're all going to have to address it. And it's on us to do exactly what we've been doing. We reject it whenever they talk that talk. They start talking that, then we reject it immediately. So don't let nobody tell you anything other than that, family. We've been out here on the grind for real. Grinding serious. And when we start talking about on the serious grind, look at this right here, y'all. This is what they say ain't happening. This is what they say is the difference. This is who they say is coming over here and operating very clear. This is not made up, y'all. This is down at the border.
Ahí va. Wow, ya pusieron la escalera. Ándale, Andrés, córrele.
No. Esto no es de...
Them folks is going up and over the border. Look at that right there, family. This is what they saying. This is what they trying to tell us ain't happening. This is when they saying, well, you know, it's not that bad now. No, they're not coming to get your job. So that person right there is not coming to steal or work jobs that foundational Black Americans in any way, shape, or form. Because, by the way, they were trying to make it look like when Trump said that, we got to clear this up. When Trump said Black jobs, and he's talking about them coming to take jobs, let's get this straight now. Let's get this straight. The Democrats try to be very, very slick, all right? I'm going to tell you what the Democrats try to do. They start talking about Black jobs, and that's what you just seen Joe Biden said. They talk about labor jobs. Let's go there. But who are you talking about, though? Because are you talking about the ones over here who are climbing the wall? Or are you talking about the ones who get flew over here with the three-piece suits on, who are getting college admission, who are getting degrees, nursing degrees, and all those? We have to reshape and remold and restructure our view of what an illegal is. It's not just the person climbing over that wall, okay? Donald Trump, when he said black jobs, family, we know for a fact these folks are coming into colleges, all right? Coming into colleges, getting your scholarship. It'd be a Juneteenth scholarship, and it'd go to 12 people from Nigeria. Yeah, Kathleen Cleaver, all right? The great Black Panther. She said it best. At the college she works in, she said that they were pushing us out, bringing these people in. Not to mention all the other jobs that they get elevated to. Oh, it ain't just some folks coming in on the low budget. They knew what the hell Trump was talking about when he said black jobs. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't give a damn if it's a low job or a high job. It needs to go to Americans, period. Point blank. Why do American jobs go to non-Americans? We couldn't go nowhere and get somebody else's job. So how come people could come over here and get our job? See, they're trying to flip that. That's what they do. That was that boogeyman stuff we was talking about. That's that boogeyman stuff that they was doing. Then he called y'all labor jobs. And by the way, we just sat there and seen Joe Biden say that who need to work with who and how they need to work together and all that. Yeah, ain't that funny, right? Okay, cool. So let's not make it look like Joe Biden is some type of protector of black jobs when literally he knows for a fact that 22 million illegals that are coming into this country, that harms the black community first. They all know this. We've seen sociology reports that came out since the early 90s. Don't let nobody say anything. And if you notice, when you start talking about immigration, have you ever seen any Democratic shield ever talk about how bad that harms our community? Nope, they don't bring it up. Joyless Reid, Van Jones, all of them, they talk as if that stuff helps black Americans. And we know damn well it doesn't. The numbers have proven it. So this is another reason why we're getting them all out the paint. And family, when you say getting out the paint, do y'all know, exclusive right here on the Black Alpha Network, y'all know now that the Democratic shields are taking our term vote couch? Yes, they are. Yeah, they're running around now and trying to run with vote couch. Like they take the term foundational, they try to remix it, but can't. They try to take tangibles and reparations, remix it and hand it back to us. Do you know now you're starting to see the Democratic shields throwing out the term vote couch? Yeah, which comes from us. Broken Buck Kari Sellers was literally on Bill Maher this weekend, and he started talking about voting couch. And I'm going to show it to you. Look at this right here, family. Look at these folks. These folks will try to run with every single thing we do if you let them. Yes, the hell they will. He was running around here talking about the couch is a good candidate too, which comes from us. Yeah, it does. Fair use, YouTube, fair use. Scholarship, teaching, news reporting, and commentary. Fair use enacted. Check this out right here, y'all. He literally comes out and he starts talking about voting couch. This is what they be trying to do. This is the games they be trying to play on us, y'all. Check this out. Here we go. They would never be saying this if it wasn't for us. Here's more Democratic shields. Always. You notice all our talking points always coming out of their mouth, but they don't never do nothing.
If people analyze this race wrong, I mean, you literally have three choices in this race. You have Donald Trump, Joe Biden, and the couch. You have Donald Trump, Joe Biden, and the couch. You have Donald Trump, Joe Biden, and the couch. Those are your choices. And the Joe Biden and the couch. Those are your choices. And the couch. And the couch. Those are your choices. And the couch is one of the most amazing candidates in the history of American politics.
Remember, look at that. I told you they out here trying to take our talking points, y'all. Look at this man talking about in the couch. In the couch. The couch is an amazing candidate. But yet whenever we talk about couch, they talk about your ancestors died for you to have the right to vote. It's funny how they start trying to spin it so they can remix it and give it back to us. Eventually, they're going to try to say couch really means voting and going home and sitting down. Couch really means casting your vote and getting home before dinner. That's what they start doing. They start saying it real nice, and then they start trying to spin it.
Wrong. I mean, you literally have three choices in this race. You have Donald Trump, Joe Biden, and the couch. Those are your choices. And the couch is one of the most amazing candidates in the history of American politics.
Yeah, okay. Play with it. Okay, that's cool. That's all good. All fine day. I told y'all. Yeah, this is what they be doing. Y'all. They out here trying to run with that. The couch. He didn't even sound right saying it. You're right. That was so cringe. in the couch, in the media, in the couch. In the couch is one of the most amazing. Come on. This is what they do. This is what they do, y'all. They always try to take what we say and try to spin it and flip it and give it back to us and give us all these type of watered down ways. That's what they do. They only do this when they know that foundational Black Americans are focused on something. They try to get involved. Do not get involved. This is why we keep completely away from them folks, man. We stay all the way away from them because nothing they do serves us. Nothing they do serves us, family. We serve ourselves, all right? That's what we do. We serve ourselves. We stay on game. We stay on code, and we don't bother nothing that they talk about because we already know what they talking about is complete trash. That's what it is. Complete trash. So that's what they own with that, family, and we're not going for none of them games. Never. Not at all. It ain't like that. Nope. We out here in the streets really holding it down, really doing our goddamn thing. So you're going to start seeing a bunch of that. Yeah, they're going to start talking about the couch, but they're going to say it in a different kind of way. It's not going to come out like the way we said. No. They're going to spin it, flip it, twist it, do all types of turning things about it. But that's all good. They can run that game all they like, fam, because I'm telling you, none of that will actually work. We're going to stay on our game and on code more than ever. Look at this right here. You know how I said they start coming out here with the joyless Reid and everybody, and they start talking crazy about us, and they're going to try to put that jacket on Black Americans? Remember I said that, right? We said all that slander that people are saying about Donald Trump, eventually they're going to try to Susan Smith us, right? They're going to try to do what they did in Hurricane Katrina. They're going to try to put down all of the bad things on Black Americans. They've already started. Look at this right here. Look at this tweet, y'all. Look at this tweet. Look at this. They're trying to make us the face of everybody celebrating what happened to Donald Trump. Yes, the hell they are. I got this from our brother Tariq. Tariq had retweeted this. He retweeted this earlier. Look at this person right here. They say, "Dear Black folks, if you are one of those out there complaining that the assailant missed, I need you to go FUCK your entire self in Macy's window on a Saturday when everybody can see your stupid BLACKASS. Yep. Look at this, fam. This is what they're doing. They sending them out. Here we go. And if you are somebody I actually know, lose my MF number. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't wave at me in the street. Don't come to my salon anymore because this is how you react to a real attack on democracy. You are not American. F you. Have a blessed day." Look at this. This person said, all Black folks, when you got nothing but video of the dominant society out here jumping for joy. The dominant society overwhelmingly have been the ones out here dancing in the street, talking all that, damn, the person missed. That wasn't coming from Black people. Black people weren't on that kind of talk. Hell no. We weren't on that. I'm telling you, fam, we stayed away. We stayed away from all of that. And this person came out and singled us out. The same way we said that they were singling out Joy Reid, the same way they single out Van Jones, the same way if something bad happens to them, they skip over the other one of them who actually did it, and they try to find the nearest Black person to put it on. This is what they're doing. Yeah. And notice at the end, they say, "You're not an American." This is more to do with us delineating. Now they're trying to use this as a means to come at us. But I want y'all to see this person. Look at it. There you go. Yeah. Oh, I told you. This is what they do. Yeah, they're going to find somebody. They're going to find somebody, family. Yeah, this is what they do. This is how it starts. It starts off with this person right here talking that. And then next thing you know, family, they're going to be out here saying, well, Black folks was out there in the streets. It was Black folks. Yep. This is how they do it, family. And we understand that. That's why we make it clear. We denounce everything. Don't denounce just a little bit, y'all. Denounce everything that they do. Denounce every aspect of the way they move, y'all. Once you start doing that, they can't associate nothing. We don't even stand next to these people. We don't stand nowhere near them. So the fact that we don't stand near them, fam, that shows you they can't put this off on us. Hell to the no. They can't put this off on people who ain't nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. This is what they trying to do. They trying to make that a Black thing. And we already knew that they was going to try to pull this. See, we're a little different than a couple other generations. A couple other generations would have pretty much let that stuff slide. Not us. And look how that started off. Dear Black folks. Yeah, okay. But at the end of the day, when you running around here talking about dear Black folks this, Black folks that, trying to put that jacket on FBA, you can't do it. How you going to put a jacket on somebody where you ain't close enough to stand next to them? Let me say that one more time. How you going to put a jacket on somebody when you ain't standing close enough or next to them? You can't. How can't you? It's because FBA has made it clear. This is why we're proud of delineation. This is why we're proud of standing away from these people. The more we stand away from them, family, they cannot move the way they want, the way they try to operate. We cannot allow these folks to get close to us, and we haven't been letting them get close to us. And that's what makes it such a beautiful thing. But you got a lot of shilling on both sides, all right? You got the Democratic shills, and then you also have the Republican shills. And a lot of these Republican shills was doing a whole bunch of tap dancing. Man, they was out here tap dancing left and right because Donald Trump was throwing around out there that he wanted to perhaps get him a VP that was black. And then you start seeing a bunch of these minority people trying to get that vice presidency. And they was running around here tap dancing left and right. Yes, the hell they were. And none of it worked out for them. Let me show y'all this right here. As we sit here and we talk about people trying to get involved, trying to get on that page. Did y'all see this dude right here? Did y'all see Byron Donalds? Okay. He was doing everything he could, y'all, so he could get that VP. And I'm going to tell you right now, Donald Trump ended up going with what he was going to go with the whole time. His relative from the dominant society.
Well, to be frank with you, it doesn't matter if it's Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, or anybody else, because the radical Democrat agenda remains the same. It's their agenda that unleashed the massive inflation. It's their agenda that has massively opened up our borders, giving the drug cartels operational control over the southern border. It's the Democrat agenda that is Joe Biden's agenda, Kamala Harris's agenda, that has led to a weak and feckless foreign policy. So our view is very clear. It doesn't matter who they actually nominate. Their agenda remains the same. It's been destructive of the men and women of our country, and that Donald Trump has the policy prescriptions to make America great again.
He was running around here talking about making America great again, making America a wonderful thing, holding America down. Oh, man, he was out there tap dancing, y'all. The tap dancing was serious. You seen it on both sides, all right? The tap dancing you seen that was coming from the Democratic Party was tap dancing where they was trying to get on board with Master Joe. That was that type of tap dancing, all right? Then the tap dancing that you started to see on the Republican side, that tap dancing was more so they were trying to get a position close. They was going at it. What's that dude, Vivek, that guy? He was running around here. He's one of the main ones. They really all believed that they were going to get selected. They was trying to get chose. All right? All right? They was out here choosing. They was really choosing, fam. They really thought that they were going to have the opportunity to get selected by Donald Trump. And Donald Trump said, I'm not selecting none of y'all. Y'all can have fun all y'all want to. Y'all can think that y'all down. When it all boils down, he was going to make his decision based on the dominant society. See, one of the things that these other people have, family, they got a whole lot of delusion. That's one of the things they got. They got a whole lot of delusion. They always think that they're in. This is what lets you know, fam. This is really about folks getting on the same page with the dominant society and being next to them. That's why I always say it's all about proximity. Proximity means everything to a shill of either party. Proximity is what it's all about when you speak of immigration. Immigration is about coming over here to America and being next to Karen and Ken. And that's what you're seeing with this guy right here. This guy knew. He said, there's an opportunity for me to get down with Donald Trump. So therefore, I'm going to do whatever it takes to be near him. He went on a whole campaign. He was running around here talking for him, speaking on his behalf, doing everything that he was told to. And he got nothing in return. Damn shame. Shameful, actually. Very, very damn shameful. And he wasn't the only one out there doing all that tap dancing, doing all that running around. Nah, family. They was doing that every way they could. Every person was doing it because they wanted to be on board. Donald Trump said jump. They said how high. They said yes, sir. Before he even got the damn question out, they already had the answer. And the answer is whatever you want me to do. So you see shilling going on both sides because there's this thing where they're trying to get on board and try to make it look like what they're doing and what they're saying is really about representing black folks. Y'all know Tim Scott was out here. Tim Scott was doing the same thing too. Yep, Marco Rubio was doing that too. Marco Rubio was. You had a whole gang of them, and they was out there really trying to get it. Look right here. Look at Tim Scott. This was at the convention last night. Tim Scott was out there and he was trying to say, well, okay, you didn't pick me, but let me work for a position in your cabinet.
This is going to offend the liberal elites. Every time I say it, it offends them. But let me say it one more time. America is not a racist country. No, we're not.
He knows his orders. He knows his orders. Go out there and say that right there.
No, we're not. But if you are looking for racism today, you find it in cities run by Democrats.
Oh, them eyes was bucking. Woo! Hold up. Look at them bucks.
Run by Democrats.
No, damn. Hold up. Family, somebody screenshot that for me, please. That screenshot right there. Look at them, boy. Oh, when we say they out there bucking them eyes. They out there bucking them eyes. See, look what they doing, family. This is what they do. They only acknowledge racism when they can dump it on each other. If they cannot dump racism on each other, then they don't bring it up. Look at that right there, family. He literally point blank said that it only goes on in Democratic areas. And the Democrats will say the same exact thing right back to him. Yes, this is the type of energy these people be on. We all know it. We all seen it. Yes, they running this game of you did it. No, you did it. No, you did it. No, you did it. Bucking them eyes, putting on the damn show. That's what they be out here doing, y'all.
Warmest regards from Detroit, home of the AFC.
Look at this guy, John James. I never even heard of him. Republican from Michigan.
Warmest regards from Detroit, home of the AFC North champion, Detroit Lions.
Nobody even cheered. Look at that. Hey, he thought he was going to come out there and talk about football. And they was like, yeah. Okay, do your job again. I'm telling you, all these shills, Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, red, blue, they all got one job to do and nobody takes them serious. Go out there, tap dance, and get the hell off stage.
Of the AFC North champion, Detroit Lions.
We got boo. Look at that family doing all that jiving for them W's in that audience. This was the Republican convention last night, y'all. This was the Republican convention. These folks was out there doing all types of jiving, left and right. And he out there getting booed, not moving the crowd. This is the life of a shield, no matter what party you're affiliated with. This is what you're to do. You're to go out there, you're to talk like that, and everybody else will boo you.
In seriousness, didn't West...
It's serious, really, man. I'm sorry.
Do a great job.
Look at that. Nobody cheered him again.
Didn't Weston do a great job? And my mother raised me, never telling me that this is a racist country. Never.
Now look how they cheered that, family. The man makes two jokes. He brings up football. Nobody says nothing. He got two claps. He brings up the person who spoke before him. Nobody says nothing. He got two claps. Soon as he says that America's not a racial country, then they start cheering. That tells you that's what his job is. His job is to tap dance and to downplay supremacy because that benefits the supremacist.
And my mother raised me, never telling me that this is a racist country. Never.
Look, now you get to stand in ovation. Look at that, family. Nothing he said was moving the crowd. Nothing Tim Scott said was moving the crowd. Byron Donalds, whatever, nobody was moving the crowd until he sat there and said, this is not a racial country. He got a standing ovation. That tells you what their job is. If you ever want to know what their job is, we can encapsulate it right there in that 15 seconds. Nothing but boos. You say some tap dancing, then they clap.
Raised me, never telling me that this is a racist country. Never. Even though we have market blemishes in our past, even though we have much farther to go, even though They endured racism. It did not define the nation they loved. They told me I could do anything I set my mind to. We had an economy so good, Democrats are trying to give Obama the credit for it. Look.
Oh, no, they love when you start talking about Obama. Oh, they love when you start talking about Obama. Look at that. As soon as he starts talking about Obama, they're like, okay, more. Keep talking. Look how it changed then, family. Look the way it all changed right there. Look at that, fam. Yep. You see it. We all see it right there. This is what they're doing. They out here really running their mouth, talking reckless, and this is how they feel to move the crowd. So that tells you what his job title is. His job title is to go out there and say stuff like that, and then that's how you get your cheers, and that's how you get your claps. And once they get a few claps, family, oh, they keep running that. They'll run it back over and over and over.
Yeah, I heard a little earlier today, if you don't vote down, but see,
look at that right there, y'all. And they was loving that, wasn't they? Look at them two Karens right there. This is what I'm saying. They making jokes about the "you ain't black" statement because deep down inside, this is how they both feel. This is how they both feel. They both on that type of time. They both on that type of energy. This is what you get. You get nothing more than that with these people. That's how it is. That's how it will always be. That's what it's always going to revolve around because this is who those people are. Those people operate on that function. Them Karens was loving that. Notice they loved all the racial statements. If it was racial, they love it. They love it. So you see SHILLs going everywhere, and they all trying to fight for position. Speaking of that, you got a lot of folks that, like we said, are non-FBA. Y'all been seeing Plies running around here? Look at this right here, family, from Plies. Did y'all see this right here? Plies is getting paid so bad from the Democratic Party. Plies is getting paid so much from the Democratic Party to do and say whatever they tell them to say. Look at this. Plies says Project 2025 is still Project 2025. The convicted felon is still a convicted felon. The abuser is still an abuser. The instructionist is still an instructionist. The fraudster is still a fraudster. Plies been reading the dictionary, y'all. The threat to democracy is still a threat to democracy. The end. Didn't we say this is what they're doing, y'all? Didn't we say this is what they're doing? This is what we saying. They're running these type of games and they running these type of statements because they do not know how to get off of that train. They are still on that boogeyman stuff, and it's not going nowhere. Remember, all of that, like we said, is coming from them. That's not coming from us, all right? We're not out here really on that type of energy because we too focused on getting to the bag. We focused on tangibles. Plies and DL Hughley have been the two main ones running it up. They've been running it up on the net. I'm telling you, every single day they got tweets left and right and left. They don't know what to do other than that right there. Because you see, when it boils down to it, they have to serve. I'm telling you, y'all ever see the Titanic? When folks be going down with the ship, this is what it is with the ship. They're going to go down with the ship. They're going to go all the way down with the ship. That's all they know. That's all they want to do. And that's all they see. So Plaza's out here literally crashing all the way out. Him and DL been on the internet left and right. That's all they've been doing. Talking crazy. Project 2025. And let's be real. Who is literally taking any form of advice from him? Of all people. Nobody's out here on no, man, what Plow said. Let's see what Plows is thinking. I got to see what Plows got to say. If Plow says it, it's got to be real. Most folks don't even remember Plows. Let's be real. Who the hell even remembers Plows at all? Like real talk. This is what we're saying. They always go get these people from these strange backgrounds. They always get these people where you can't really confirm where they from. Is Plaza tether, y'all? Somebody tell me. Because I hear a lot of conflicting statements on Plaza's lineage. You know what I'm saying? Plaza out here, by the way, looking like goddamn, what's old buddy name? The gospel dude, Kirk Franklin. Plaza out here looking real Kirk Franklin-ish, by the way. Real Kirk Franklin. But you see this a lot with these people. This is who the Democrats go get. The Democrats always go get these artists. That's what they do. So when Joy Reid is running around here talking about Amber Rose, we sit there and say the Democrats do that all the time. That's their whole thing. We don't want to go get an economist. No, let's go get a rapper. This is what they're doing. So they're still on that type of energy. They're still trying to run with that type of game. And they've been talking reckless in the process. Super reckless, y'all. Super reckless, saying all types of things, and nobody's on it. So look at the main thing that you're seeing here, family. You're seeing Democratic shills in form of rapper, in form of politicians, however they can find them, and they're all out here running that same gambit on black people, still trying to get black folks to hop on that plantation. I said it, y'all. They're going to go down with the Democratic plantation. That's all they know. They wouldn't be there. Their loyalty is obviously not with black folks. Their loyalty is with that community. And since they're with that community, that means they're going to do what that community tells them to do. And that's shameful. But that's the way they operate. That's the way they function. That's the way they move. And this is why we ain't on that type of time nor energy. We staying completely away from that. Again, we got to stress that point all the way, because the more we stay away from these folks, the more things get better. That's why we say delineation is working, because delineation is out here really holding down. And speaking of that, right after that, Plies came out and said that Kodak Black, y'all remember Kodak Black, non-FBA again. Kodak Black, he was pardoned by Donald Trump. So Kodak Black come out, and these two dudes start set banging. Yeah, this is what we talking about, fam. These folks ain't serious. This is the political discourse outside of the grassroots. Next thing you know, Kodak Black come out, and he talking about Plies, saying, man, don't you say that. You hear a lot of massive love in all these people. I showed you Van Jones. I showed you Roland Martin. I showed you DL. I showed you them crying. I'm showing you Plies, and I'm showing you Kodak Black. And the main thing and the common denominator is they're all crashing out over their W Zaddy.
A bitch say, yeah, go smack Plies for what? Oh, Plies had to probably been there saying some more crazy ass shit then. I ain't gonna lie. You know what's crazy? The niggas fucked up by Plies. But like, we ain't going to tight and out, bro. Get off that shit, Plies.
Family, no, he's attempting to speak English. I believe that's an attempt to speak English. I can't call it. I'm sure you can't either. What did he just say right there? I wish I had subtitles.
The niggas fucked up by Plies. But like, we ain't going for no Trump slander, bro. You need to go ahead and tighten down, bro. Get off that shit. You need to go ahead and tighten down, bro. You need to go ahead and tighten down. You need to go ahead and tighten down, bro. Get off that shit, Plies. Like, Trump ain't doing nothing to you, I mean. You feel me? You rich, bro. You rich. F all that, love. Cause shit get mafioso, boy. You rich. F all that, love. Rich. F all that, love. Cause shit get mafioso, boy. Shit.
Damn. Shameful. Shameful, 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 shameful. Family, do not abandon your kids. Please, please, please don't. Do not abandon your kids. That right there, y'all. You see this right here. This is what we talking about. You got these rappers and these nobodies. These folks is coming out the woodwork on all that energy, man. Get out of here. So you see the denominator. That's why when we start talking about shills, shills are more than just the people that you see on television, fam. Shills are the folks that you see in entertainment. Shills are the folks you see talking politics. The only people who are being serious about actual, tangible political events is the black grassroots. That's why we run it. That's why we run everything. Trust me, we run it all. You see these entertainers are on that type of time. We not. We on that serious business. You see these dudes set banging over literally, fam. What did we just say in the beginning? What did we just say? When you see that right there. So you got folks on some Plies and you got some folks on some Kodak. The same way you got some Joy Reid and Candace Owens. The same way you got Tim Scott and then you got Van Jones. And they're both picking the side of Mayo and Miracle Whip, in which we know, hell no. It ain't got nothing to do with us. FBA excellence in our FBA lane, and that's why FBA is winning, and all of them are falling to shame. Yep. Look at these, though, fam. This is what we say when they on that type of energy. Look at this. Look at these tweets that have been coming out from Roland Martin. Watch what Roland's been saying, family. Look at this. The ASS kissing of Donald Trump on CNN is pathetic. Remember, this comes from the Shills. The Shills going to go down with that boat. I'm telling you. Okay. Not done. The damn embarrassment. Look at that. He got all those W's. This is what Roland's saying. This Roland. Furthermore, another one. Damn embarrassment. Talking about Tim Scott. He's going at Elon Musk. These questions that Lester Holt, NBC, is asking Joe Biden is a joke. Joe Biden did an interview with Lester Holt, and it was a horrible interview, and Joe Biden got mad, and then here comes here comes Roland Martin with the cape on to save his master. Not done again. There goes Plies. Dear black folks, the stakes keep getting higher with this election. The J.D. Vance running mate hire by Trump is the equivalent of choosing a young, they say Hitler again. They still on that energy, y'all. Remember what Rachel Maddow was trying to say. The SHILLs are still on that boogeyman talk. As VP, in my opinion, he's as extreme as it gets. Don't believe me, do your research. He is Project 2025. Still talk that we ain't on. The guy right here, he said, I'll be voting to stop Project 2025 from ever happening and to ensure the Supreme Court is balanced and the current MAGA majority is dismantled. You can argue over the two candidates till November. I know what time it is. I'm going to tell you, it's going to be time. It's going to be cancel time because this type of energy ain't going to flow. More Roland. Look at Roland there, still talking. Roland still running his mouth, y'all. Look at this. These are all the tweets that have been coming out in the last few days. Oh no, Dems ain't focused on the W middle class men with J.D. Vance and his anti-woman rhetoric. Y'all notice it's always something. It's they're anti-this, they're anti-this, they're anti-this. I can say this, you anti-reparations. You anti-foundational Black American. But they don't want to go there though. Yeah, proceed. More racist BS. Here we go. That's all they've been tweeting. Just fear-mongering. Fear-mongering. Judge tosses Trump's document cases, ruling prosecutor unlawfully appointed. Because Trump just won that. You know Roland couldn't handle that, y'all. Hell no. Politics must never be a literal battlefield. Biden condemns political violence. But yet, you're contributing to it. Yes, you are, Roland. Look at this. Trump's new tone. Whoa. Hold up. Let me run that back. Here we go. Check this out. Donald Trump put out that statement, and then Roland Martin says Trump's new tone was all BS. We must defeat him at the ballot box in November. He should never be near the Oval Office again. Trump literally just got harmed on stage, and Roland Martin is still out here talking reckless. This is what the dominant society is not going for. And when that wake-up call comes in, remember, you couldn't stop because you give them a few butter biscuits, they'll say any damn thing. He's fundraising. Someone was harmed, and he's fundraising. They're getting on Trump for still fundraising. Okay? Right here. Stop it. You know nothing about the motive of the shooter and the less rhetoric. This right here. You have no details about the shooter other than he's a registered Republican and is 20. You notice that Roland and them kept talking about, oh, he's a Republican. He's a Republican. They're still playing partisan games when literally people were out here being harmed. We not wearing that jacket. You can have that, homeboy. You can take that all you want to. FBA, we focus. Now, this is what I want to get on. Family, let's go there. Y'all know that person right there. Y'all heard of Tim Wise, right? Y'all remember Tim Wise? Remember Tim Wise used to run around here and do the ally stuff? Well, I'm the ally. I'm the ally of the Black community. Remember, Tim Wise was on that Jane Elliott stuff. Let's go there. Let's go there. Let's go all the way there. Yeah, Tim Wise has been out here talking that same talk. Tim Wise has been out here speaking that same game. Remember, Tim Wise was doing the whole ally thing. Tim Wise was running around here trying to tell Black Americans how racist the dominant society is, but he never came with any plan, never came with nothing. That's another thing we've been doing in the Black grassroots, y'all. We've been out here canceling all of those fake allies. Because remember, they was trying to give us Jane Elliott left and right. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember when Black folks would say, here, Jane Elliott. Jane is the best. We got to have Jane. A party ain't a party till Jane gets here. Every few years, they try to feed us one of these allies. And what you come to find out, family, is all of these allies are deep down inside Democrats. You notice, you don't ever get one of these people from the dominant society who claim that there's no supremacy other than the ones who are from the Republican side. From the Democratic side, they always act like, oh yeah, there is a problem. It's just all on the Republicans. Yeah, Tim Wise has been coming out. Yeah, he started talking about so a bunch of W male Secret Service guys stand Trump up, exposing him to possibly more. But some of y'all are focused on that one W woman agent. It seems like a problem. It's all about DEI. Bigotry never stops. Okay. All right. Here's another one with Tim Wise. So check this out. So was this would-be assailant motivated by his W-ness or his heteroness or his gender identity. Because y'all all know if he was a POC or a Skittles bag, you would have insisted that this was why. Own your hypocrisy. So now you see him coming out and he's putting all the capes on for all these other communities. Look at that. He's talking about all the other communities, If this was that community, it'd be a better thing. So you see, Tim Wise has been acting like he's some type of crusader against supremacy. He's been acting like he's some type of ally for black people. But Tim Wise in reality is just a liberal Democrat. And he's using typical, old, outdated liberal Democrat tactics. And those tactics, family, are trying to get us to feel like there's some type of problem. And in reality, he gives all that energy off to every single other community, the blacks and browns and the POCs. That's what it is. Tim Wise ain't no different than what you see Joe Biden doing. It's the same liberal con game that Malcolm X was talking about in the 1960s, y'all. Easy work. So you see that going down. And I want y'all to remember, Tim Wise was out here talking reckless. Have you ever seen Tim Wise ever stump for reparations? Have you ever seen Tim Wise really come out here and talk about tangibles for black folks? Or does Tim Wise just come out here and say a bunch of things that really don't ever add up? He'll just say, yeah, there's a lot of supremacy. And there's this thing with a lot of black folks back in the day until now, where if somebody just comes out and is a W and they acknowledge racism, we just start clapping for them. Or at least the worst term that you could ever use as a black person is at least. It's always at least we got less. At least we got more than yesterday. At least in my lifetime it'll happen. At least we get $5 because yesterday we got $2. At least we was on Edmund Pettus Bridge with John Lewis. Okay, it's always an at least. We want more, and we won't stop till we get more. Tim Wise and them come out there talking about supremacy and all that, but Tim Wise is really just a liberal Democrat. And he wants to get all that allyship to get you to go vote for the Democratic Party. And he never stopped for anything significant like reparations. Y'all remember when he started talking crazy about Dr. Frances Cress Welsing? Remember that with Tim Wise? Yeah, Tim Wise talked crazy about Dr. Frances Cress Welsing and disrespected her. That's the ally that they was trying to feed us. The guy who never talks about reparations but hates on foundational black Americans, who hates on icons of our community. And folks are trying to give us Tim Wise. Let me show y'all this with Tim Wise. Y'all remember this? Yeah. Oh, we pulling out all of the layers, family, and peeling them back. We pull it out, peel it back. We expose everybody. Tim Wise getting that exposing as well. That's what we do. It ain't just the Republicans. It ain't just the Democrats. It ain't just the independents. It's everybody. Look at this right here. That's how we do on the Black Alpha Network. Check this out. Remember when he came out and he said this about Dr. Frances Cress Welsing and she had to check him? By the way, fair use, fair use, fair use. Remember, he talked reckless. This is the ally. This is the liberal friend. This is Jane Elliott's bro. Remember when he disrespected Dr. Frances Cress Welsing? Well, those days you used to be able to pull that stuff off. You can't do that now.
I'm not talking about Tim Wise. I know of him. He is talking about white privilege. I'm talking about the system of racism, white supremacy. And interestingly, I have been informed that Mr. Wise said that Dr. Frances Welsing is, her discussion is pseudoscientific bullshit.
Really?
This is fascinating because he not only says he's white, but he says he's a racist. You see, so if he identifies himself as white and a racist, then he is supposed to be putting down a black person who has talked about what racism and white is. See, talking about white privilege is not talking about the demographic and the genetic motivation for white people who classify themselves as white, seek to have privilege and seek to dominate. You see, so he goes off talking about white privilege, and then people who classify themselves as white and will fund him as the white person who goes around talking about this. You see, but dismissing a person like Neely Fuller or dismissing someone like myself as black people who have analyzed this problem, that's ridiculous. But anyway.
I'm glad you brought that to my attention because in watching him and listening to him off and on, it brings clarity that he was coming through the back door then trying to gain favor of our people, which is an old trick, to try to get them to see his side, to maybe side with him to show, look, our people are mean and then at the same time downplaying what you've done in study. So that brings to light what people have to read into, just like the books, just like the ball games, just like the distractions that they could use, which is a learned behavior to have people believe or think they believe that you're on their side. And I want to take that up a notch after the quick break, because this is something that I would hope people have their pens and papers.
Family, I want all of y'all to remember that. Remember, that's in the words of Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. That's one of the exclusives that you're going to get right here on the Black Alpha Network. Yes, indeed, all day, all damn day. All right? Backdoor. Absolutely. That is backdoor supremacy, an old trick. All right? Notice, family, in the era of us speaking about tangibles and reparations, Tim Wise is talking about POCs. Remember this, fam. When a lot of folks wasn't really on this train and a lot of folks really weren't out there putting in that work and holding it down, Tim Wise was one of the favorites. They tried him again a few years later with Jane Elliott. It's the same thing. Actually, Jane Elliott came out first, okay? Because she's up there. She's doing Joe Biden numbers, okay? But nonetheless, this is what happened. And notice that Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, she put it so clever. She said, he'll come out here and he'll start talking about privilege, but he's not actually talking about the system. They won't go there with the system. That's what they're not going to do. See, when you start talking about the system, now you start putting names and dates on the table. Now you putting faces to them names and them dates. That's where they're not going to go. They're not going to go that far. It's the same exact thing that we were just talking about in terms of the way they try to hustle us and scheme and plot on us with the Joy Reids and them. They'll go only so far, and then they'll pull it back because they understand the way things operate and the way things function. All right? That is what we're speaking of, family. So he came out and was saying all of that years ago, disrespected Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. And next thing you know, he comes back a few years later, and then he starts saying, well, you know, what about the POCs? Remember, after this last situation with Donald Trump that just happened over the weekend, I just showed y'all his tweet. That tweet is new. That ain't no old tweet. That's a brand new tweet. And in that brand new tweet, Tim Wise is not talking about anything significant. Tim Wise is out here talking about POCs and Skittles. He's talking about Skittles, Starburst, and POCs. Where has Tim Wise been with all that blackity black talk that he was talking? Where has he been with anything sufficient or significant in the black community? All these certifieds is out here putting in work, and the next thing you know, he out here talking about every other community because he was using that energy before to get in the building. Once he gets in the building, then he starts trying to slide it off onto every single other community. That right there is what you got to watch for. That right there is that SHILL energy. That's that SHILL energy in which we putting it into. We're not going for none of that. We ain't standing by that. We standing away from that because that's what we do. And I'm going to tell you, I've been on calling him out for a long time. I'm about to show y'all some receipts right here. Real receipts, y'all. Check this out. Black Alpha exclusive, y'all. Dig me on this one. Let me show y'all how long I've been calling this guy out. I've been calling him out for a long time before I was really even like Black Alpha. Okay, check this out. Here we go. First off, look at this right here. This was a tweet that he just said the other day, or not that long ago. He says, stop them. This is all that matters right now, because if we don't, nothing else you support will ever happen. And a lot of things you don't will. This is a tweet he made about Trump. It said, Trump's team is preparing to fundamentally reshape America with Project 2025. Tim Wise is a Project 2025 guy. Tim Wise is on some Project 2025 up there with Plies and up there with Joy Reid. Yeah. What happened to all that blackity black stuff? He's still on some Project 2025. Yeah. And notice he's real slick, and he sends a little shot at us. Because anytime someone says stop Trump, they're talking to Black Americans. All right. That's who they're talking to. They're not talking to each other. They're talking about Black Americans. They don't never put the onus on stopping Trump on the dominant society. They don't put it on the POCs. It's like after every election, Black folks got to save the democracy. We got to save the election process. It's the same way we got to save everybody from Trump. It's always Black folks. That's how they view us, as people who carry the weight and do the labor. So he says, stop them. And then at the end, he says, because if we don't, nothing else you support will ever happen. That right there, family, is him talking about reparations. That's what he's saying. He's saying you're not going to get reparations unless you do something about stopping Trump. You got to learn how to read between the lines, find the nuances and the details, and you will see it. So when he says we all got to stop Trump, And if you don't, nothing you support, reparations, will ever happen. That ain't no different than Roland Martin saying, you better go vote because if you don't, you ain't going to get your money. Same thing. That's what Tim Wise was talking. But as I sit here and I talk about Tim Wise, let me show y'all these receipts. Going back, I'm going to go back a few years. Check this out right here. Check this out right here. Let me pull this receipt up. Here we go. All right, got it. Check this out. This was me years ago. I'm going to show y'all the date and everything. After that whole situation with Kyle Rittenhouse, Tim Wise came out and he said, Donald Trump's rhetoric is what encouraged the Kenosha harmer to think coming to a town and harming protesters was okay. The issue is on his hands as Charlottesville. He was trying to take the Kyle Rittenhouse thing and he was putting it on Donald Trump. Okay, cool. This was August 26, 2020. And if you look at the bottom of your screen, that's me, Black Alpha. And this is before I even had the fist up, all right? I say, no, no, no. W supremacy is the rhetoric that encouraged Kyle Rittenhouse. And it was here long before Trump, bottom line. This is what I was on. Because what he was trying to do is he was doing what Democrats always do. He would take supremacy and he'll dump it on Trump. I take supremacy and I dump it on their whole goddamn community, past, present, and future. There's a big difference between dumping supremacy on one man and one party opposed to dumping it on a whole community. Never do that. And if you ever see somebody that tries to say supremacy exists only with the Republicans, then you know that person is an op. If you ever see someone say supremacy only exists only with the Democrats, that person is an op. Supremacy is a global system. It is operated and functioned by billions of people, and it is rooted in anti-blackness. So I G-checked him way the hell back on August 26, 2020. I wasn't even all the way on Black Alpha yet, family. I was just a regular person. I was being me, okay, on code. But that's not it. I got him again, fam. I'm going to show you how old this is because I had to screenshot this with the phone. That wasn't the last time. So as I sit here and I present to y'all this in 2024, mind you, I was on this dude bumper way back then. Look at this one right here. It's a little hard to see, but I'm going to read it for you. This was on August 6th, 2020 as well, okay? Check this out. I said, oh, no, okay, what I did, family, I actually, bam, you know what? It makes sense. The first tweet that you guys seen, I had my original logo, which was Assata Shakur. I can't remember. It was Assata Shakur, Huey Newton, Harriet Tubman, but it was a collage. That same day that I tweeted against him and made this tweet was the same day that I first put up my logos that you see behind me and you see everywhere. Wherever you see that black fist with the gold drop or the red one, that's Black Alpha. So after I made that first tweet, I came back and I made this one. And in between those tweets, I first debuted this logo. So this is how long ago it was. August 26, 2020. I retweeted him. I said, you got to check these fake W allies. To them, our oppression is about scoring points against Donald Trump. I don't give a damn about none of that. To us, it's a matter of life. Anti-black war doesn't care about political parties. That part. Way back then, we was running that G-check, and we still running that G-check right now today because it does not stop. We on it all the way across the board, y'all. All the way across the board. That's how we do things. So I was on that game way back then, family. Way back then. And we're going to continue to grind. We're going to continue to put in that work. Any type of person coming with that SHILL energy, oh, we're going to G-check. Yeah, this is what we do. G-check is full in effect all the way. Class in session. They can take notes because we're not stopping right there. We're going to continue to ride. We're going to continue to grind. We're going to continue to put it out there until everybody understands, y'all. We are certified all the way across the board, and FBA is in the place. That's just what it is. This is how we do things. Speaking of how we do things, y'all, you see Master Joe out there running his, talking. Look at this right here. I want y'all to see this as well. Oh, we cooking. I said we was going to cook. Y'all know we do 100 miles an hour. Let's go 100 miles an hour. Look at this right here. This is Joe Biden out there talking. Look at this right here, family. Watch this right here. You already know something was going to be told, and you already know how they was going to play it.
Character. Folks, I know what a black job is. It's the Vice President of the United States.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. I don't know if y'all can hear that. The audio's a little janky. He said, I know what he said, I know what a black job is. It's the Vice President of the United States. So Kamala's black again, y'all. This is what they're going to always do, y'all. Kamala is black again. Look at this again, family.
Character. Folks, I know what a black job is. It's the Vice President of the United States. I know what a black job is. The first black president of America is Barack Obama.
Oh my God. Cringe. Cringe, cringe, cringe. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. No. We ain't going for that. Try another one, man. Try another one. Try another one. Try another one. That part. This man said a black job is the Vice President of the United States. I guess there ain't no black jobs in that area, family, because the Vice President of the United States is not black. Neither was the first so-called black president. That individual was not black either. So when you peel that all back, family, you already know what type of time it is. You already know what they're getting at. And we get to the money. We get to the bag. Speaking of them trying to put that blackness on us, family, y'all know they was out here running with Amber Rose, right? Look what they put in there. Rapper influencer. Nah. Bout ain't. That's what my partners in New Orleans be saying. Bout ain't. Nah. Try that again. Try that again. Nah. So all the cringe, all the hate, all the funny style energy, we pushing that all out the building, and we bringing in that real certified energy. Rapper influencer. So what you see, fam, is a whole bunch of people running around here trying to tell foundational black Americans what's black, what needs to be black, who's black. They're having a whole lot of conversations about black things, and they're not involving black people. You're literally seeing the Tim Scotts, the Byron Daniels family. You've seen everybody on here, and their paperwork is not black. Their minds are not black. Their functions are not black. Who they're around are not black. The way they move and conduct themselves is not black. So therefore, if all of these people can practice that type of energy, can be on that type of time, then we're going to go ahead and let it be known that they're all on some Democrat, Republican, SHILL energy. And if that's the type of energy that you choose to be on, then that type of energy is what you're going to have to stand on. And foundational black Americans are going to stand on nothing but that business, that certified goddamn business. So when you see people running around here speaking on behalf of our lineage, heritage, and culture, reject. Anytime you see somebody speaking on our mind, body, and soul, reject. And anytime somebody's speaking on our business and they ain't talking about money, then you ain't talking FBA. So as they crash out, they foul out, and they fall out, just know, family, it's always been the same. And it's even worse now. It's always been hard out here for a SHILL, but it just got a hell of a lot more hard because foundational black Americans, we are a hell of a lot stronger, and we on code more than ever. So when I say it's hard out here for a SHILL, family, it's going to stay hard out here for a SHILL because it all ends with them getting canceled, us getting to the money, us being exceptional, and them being knocked out the goddamn paint. When you do all that and you win and you do it with style, that means you did it the FBA way, and that's all we do. Certified salute to the whole goddamn family, y'all. That part. All right, man. It's been a hell of a one, family. I got so many receipts. I got so much more stuff. Jam-packed, family. I couldn't even get to every single thing, so we going to double this back. I'll see y'all on Friday. Trump going to take that stage on Thursday. I'll meet you guys back here on Friday. We did another 1,000, family, in the chat. That's 4. That's 4, family. That's 4 in 3 months. This is how much we working. You guys are the MVP. You guys are the ones, man. So certified salute to all of y'all for making it happen. FBA always wins. I like to believe I'm one of the flag bearers, one of the pillars in the black community, and I only do that when I stand next to millions of FBA. No FBA, no me. So certified salute to all of y'all because y'all strengthen me. Y'all give me the power. Y'all give me the energy. Y'all give me the passion. And y'all know when you put all of that together, with the whole FBA family tree, that's East Coast, West Coast, down south, up north, then all we do is win, y'all. And we winning right now, running them out the paint. It's hard out here for a shield when all that tap dancing can never pay your bills. Don't be mad. We only keeping it real. Y'all stay good. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay vigilant, fam. And remember, all that stuff that they talking, all them jackets they trying to put on us, we ain't wearing them. All those slander, inflammatory statements ain't got nothing to do with us. We stand in our FBA lane, get to our FBA business, and FBA always wins, and FBA always wins our own damn style. That part. So y'all stay good, family. Certified salute to everybody out there. I see you, Duddy. Certified salute, my brother. Yes, indeed. All day. Y'all stay good, man. Stay safe. I'll see you guys back here on Friday. Whatever you do, always remember one thing, and this is the most important thing. And when I say this, I'm talking about foundational Black Americans, okay? That means that Black is beautiful, and beautiful is always Black. Certified salute, Free Huey.
Everybody knows that all the people don't have liberties, all the people don't have freedom, all the people don't have justice, and all the people don't have power, so that means none of us do.